Well, welcome. It's the Monday night hangout. Let me take care of this little bit of business here. And we're going to refresh this. Turn this on. Save. And we'll go here. Customization, live chat replay, save. I'll go back here. Ah, somebody's in here.
It's Joe,
Mr. iPad.
Mr. iPad Joe.
Yeah, what's up, Joe?
Good to see you, son. Everything going well?
Yeah, not bad.
Snow gone?
The smell.
Snow.
Oh, yeah, most of it. A
Let's
little
go
bit
on the north side. The building's got a little bit.
Yeah. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. You been flying?
No.
No. We went out Saturday, I think it was. We flew from probably 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock Saturday. It was beautiful.
I'm gonna have to get at least 65 before I get out there.
Oh, it was 50, but it was nice. I flew a lot. I built the kids some tutors, and my airplane was turning so hard that the Fox 35 crank broke in two.
Oh no.
You know foxes? I don't know this.
Turn it, pull it over the other way. There you go.
I thought this was a Randy Chris crank, but I'm not sure. Randy Smith crank. I don't know the crank's good enough. But it had ceramic head and cylinder, hemi-headed, stuffer plated, yada yada yada. And that tutor will turn. That's unbelievable how good it turns with the flaps cut back and big more elevator.
You know why, don't you? It's a 6-ounce motor.
That's right. It's a 30-ounce airplane.
Yep.
Man, it just snapped corners. I snapped a corner that flew off, and I just gave it up, and it made it. At first, I was stalling, so I let off and just come around, level back off about head high, and landed. And said, "Woo, that was interesting."
You know, I gave Friday night Zoom meeting a test last Friday night. My assumption is correct. Friday night Zoom on YouTube is not good for my channel. However, what I will do is that I will start a Zoom meeting. If you guys want to have a Friday Zoom meeting, I'll start a Friday meeting and not broadcast it to YouTube.
To me, it doesn't matter if it's on YouTube or not. This is all about seeing everybody for me.
Yeah. There's Mr. Sander.
Yeah.
The judge. Here come the judge.
Yeah, I enjoy that better than standing.
That's funny right there. I built a new airplane. A little bitty booger. I'll show you.
A little bitty one.
Called a tutor. 16 grams it weighs.
Oh, wow.
And it was been so windy the other night. It finally at dark, it got calm. So I pulled the rubber band out and wound it about 100 times, had a knot all the way across it, turned the porch light on, thought, well, it might go with the pecan tree. And I gave a little toss, and that sucker flew off into the dark. And I thought, holy mackerel, I'm going to lose my airplane first flight. I listened, didn't hear it hit. So I turned my flashlight on my phone and took off running the way it was going. And I found it in the ditch to the south end of the house. I was glad I found it. I thought, oh my gosh, it's going to fly away.
Oh,
it might really fly. These are more trouble than they're worth too.
What's that?
To build.
Oh.
Everything's delicate on it.
That just goes straight, or does it supposed to
turn
around? Turn.
It's supposed to fly inside of a gymnasium. But I haven't flown it yet. Not just 100 winds and just toss it. It flies 50 feet or 75 or something. I don't know. It flies pretty good, but it's not showing any indication of turn. I might put a trim tab on it. And we'll see. Cock the nose over. I got to wind it up first to see what it does when you give it some power.
Got to get it on a calm day.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. Calm day. That's exactly right. What are you doing, Sparky? You done painted that once.
No, I
He's
didn't.
put pinstripes.
I'm putting a red pinstripe around it.
Oh,
My
in
tape
front, in front of the black.
no, you'll see. My tape didn't show up today, Steve. They say tomorrow.
That's okay.
Like this, Joe. That's painted on.
Uh-huh.
And this side is not painted on.
Oh, it's not okay. It looks black to me on the right.
Yeah, that little picture doesn't do it
Doesn't do it justice.
Hey, Junior's here. You gonna come out to Booter with me tomorrow?
I didn't know you were going out there tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be almost 50 degrees. Gonna be a little bit windy, 8 to 12.
I got
I figured I'd get one or two
therapy.
flights in.
I got physical therapy tomorrow, and then I got to do something for my dad.
Oh, guess you're not coming out.
No,
Can't get
I
Sparky
did,
to go.
Nope.
Not warm enough. I don't know. Maybe Mark Hughes will go.
If I was there, I'd have went.
I responded to Fred's email on your behalf.
On my behalf?
Yeah, I told him that I had you partially browbeat into charging your batteries at the field instead of at home.
Oh, that,
If you
yeah.
ever finished up, you'd be using that charging station out there.
Hope so.
That type of thing would only be good for a summer day. Get there early in the morning and fly all day long.
Yeah, yeah.
What are you
that'd be
talking
good.
about? What
The
type of
battery,
thing?
the battery station.
The charging station.
Why? I don't understand why you would say that.
Well, you don't have to have as many batteries that way. You don't have to have a dozen batteries.
You don't have to have a dozen batteries in. How many times do you normally fly?
3 or 4.
And he brings them batteries already charged. So why does he need a charging station?
Well, that's just it. He doesn't want to burn his house down, so he's going to stop charging at home.
I'm
It
not
doesn't take any
commenting.
longer to charge 4 batteries as it does to charge 1 battery if you have the right charger. And that's
yeah, I
about,
can charge 6 at a time, but I've never tried that. I've only done 4.
yeah, but if you don't have enough amperage, it's going to take longer to charge 6.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like if you have your battery in storage mode
Mm-hmm.
and you charge it, let's say even just 1C, it shouldn't take but about 30 or 35 minutes to charge that battery. Or if you got 6 of them in the right charger to charge 6 batteries. So you could get there, go straight to the thing and hook your charger up and start it, then come back and start carrying your chair and carrying your drink and stopping and letting Dan tell you whatever stories he's got and all that. Before you know it, all your batteries are done already.
Ah, I see.
Gonna have a
When I
solar
charge
cell. You got
4 with my
It's-
setup, it takes about 90 minutes.
What capacity are your batteries?
4,000.
Huh. So you're charging at 16 amps then?
I don't know that. 4.5 something.
Well, that's okay for 1 battery. But then when you parallel to 2, you got to double the amperage. And if you
That's right.
parallel to 3, you got to triple the amperage. When you have 4 on there, it's got to be quadruple the amperage.
Oh, so I can actually increase the amperage?
Your charger just thinks you put a bigger battery on it.
Oh, okay.
And you connect 4,
Because I
4,000 milliamp.
can't remember how many.
Pretty.
I'll get the charger and I'll take a look.
When you charge 1 battery, it thinks you're charging a 4,000 milliamp 4S battery. If you put all 4 of them on there, it thinks you're charging a 16,000 milliamp 4S battery.
All right.
It's going to take more amps from the plug-in to handle that.
Yeah.
It'll take a lot longer to charge it.
No, it's the same amount of time if you charge it the right amperage.
Well,
Charging
yeah,
1
the right
battery
amp.
or 4 batteries or 6 batteries, If you charge it at the right amperage, it's the same charge time.
if it's available.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got to
if you got
see what
available
it'll go up to.
Yeah.
Good grief, man.
This gets into that charger that I was suggesting to you. So my
Wickedest
charger will charge
charger.
up to 40 amps.
I've never seen one that would charge more than 4 batteries commercially available. But Joe Daly's got one they apparently made that I don't know how many batteries that thing will charge, but they look like I think 8 at one
The
time. It
battery,
was
the
impressive.
charger doesn't have anything specified to limit how many batteries you can charge.
It's the
When you're
power
connecting them
supply.
in parallel, when you're connecting them in parallel, it's one battery as far as the charger is concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, as
The
far
only
as it
thing that
knows.
would limit you is if your charger won't put out enough amperage, it will take longer to charge more batteries.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, what's the difference? Can you hear me?
Yep.
In
Oh, now you're
mode.
breaking up. Try
broke
again,
up.
Steve.
We
All right,
can't
I'm
hear you.
looking at the manual. What's the difference between synchronous mode and asynchronous mode?
I don't know. I don't know anything. What charger do you have?
An M6D. It says charging current, synchronous mode maximum 25 amps at max 500 watts. Asynchronous mode maximum 15 amps at max 250 watts.
Is that a dual port charger?
It is. Yeah, it's got 2
No,
ports.
that's what it is if you're charging it just one side, I guess they consider that asynchronous and you get more power. But if you use both outputs, it's going to have the power.
All right. So if I use just the one side with the parallel board.
Yeah, and what does it say the maximum wattage is?
500.
That's not going to get it done.
And 24 amps, didn't you say?
25 amps.
Well,
Not gonna work.
all you need to know is the watts.
Well, if I
It's gonna
like
take a
I've
while
been
to
charging
charge.
at 4.5, if I run it up to 9, will it be twice as fast?
I want to see what your max current is at 5,000 or 500 watts. So 3.7 nominal is what you normally go by per cell. You have a 4-cell pack. So that's 14.8 volts. And you said 500 watts?
Yeah.
So it ought to be, well, according to this, it ought to be able to do 33 amps. But trying to think how to answer you here. So you have to tell the charger it's a 4S pack. It needs to know that because it's got to have the voltage at top at. And at that point, when you set your amperage for your 4,000 milliamp battery, you would probably just normally charge one battery at 4 amps. That's 1C. If you connect 2 and you want to maintain 1C, now that charger sees basically one 8,000 milliamp battery. So you got to charge at 8 amps. If you put 3 of them on there, it's going to see one 12,000 milliamp battery. So you need to charge at 12 amps. And if you put 4 on there, and so forth. So every time you stack another battery on in parallel, you have to add the current for that battery if you want to keep a 1C charge rate.
So I'm charging at a much lower rate by keeping it at 4.5, no matter how many batteries I put on there.
Takes too long to charge that way.
What's that?
Takes too long to charge that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
And how?
But probably safer.
No, it's not easy. 1C is fun. If you have a 4,000 milliamp battery, one like Steve said, you charge it at 4 amps. If you have 2, it's 8 amps. 3 is 12, and so forth. Just multiply. It's still 1C.
Okay.
I mean, that's assuming you have a para board and you're charging,
Yeah, I got a para board.
What happens when you take more amps out of the machine than your wall socket can give you and it pops the breaker?
What's that now?
How you keep from popping a breaker, a 20 amp breaker, if you're
That's-
charging 24 amps out of
That's
it.
20 amps at 110 volts. What'll happen is the power supply in your charger is not
Yes.
going to supply the power. It
That's
shouldn't
what I
pop a
would think.
breaker.
That's what I would think. Something's going to suffer.
Right.
It just won't. If you have an output that shows you the charge current, you'll see that it isn't making the charge current you asked for.
Yeah.
I have a 73 amp
How
DC
did-
power supply, so I can either charge or weld.
This thing we're talking about out at our field is a solar powered battery bank.
Yep.
Mm.
So batteries give unlimited current.
They give lots of current, dude.
So you won't have that problem connecting to a battery bank out there.
Lots of RC clubs have those now. They have a big storage battery. They have solar cells, and you just plug in and go. We have actual
That's-
electric service right to our pavilion, so we don't have to worry about that.
That's how this came up is the field we fly at. There's an RC section that already has that feature put in. And I guess the park is finally getting around to working on the control line side. And there's talk of putting that service in. And that
Cool.
just started us discussing charging batteries at the field. I've been trying to talk Steve out of charging at home so he doesn't burn his house down. Little by little, I'm chipping away at him. But if you get your charger set up right at home, Steve, and see how quick it goes, I'm pretty sure that's what it is right now. Is it takes so long for you? You're like, I don't want to take it out to the field and wait an hour and a half.
Right.
But if you're
Yeah.
starting from a storage charge, 3.6 to 3.8 volts per cell where it ought to be,
Mhm.
it's probably not going to take 35 minutes if you
At
can
the
give it a
most.
full C. It isn't going to take that long to be ready to go. So
Make sure when you come home from flying, if you don't use the battery, that you put it in storage charge. And the ones you do use, put those in storage charge too, because
Yeah.
it'll actually charge them up to about 56%. So it'll take less time to charge them the next time you go out. And they'll
Yeah,
stay
and
at
I
56%.
have been doing that. My question is, okay, let's say I charge 4 batteries, but I only use 3, so I got one fully charged. Can I put all 4 of them on the paraboard,
No,
or do I have
you
to
you
take
don't ever
that
want to
fully
connect them to
charged
each
one
other.
away?
No, you don't want to connect batteries that aren't close to each other in charge level because
That's right.
as
Okay.
soon as you connect them, they instantaneously match. That means that you've overcharged the dead ones and you over discharge the fully charged one. Something will smoke if you do that, most likely.
Okay, well, I've never tried, and I figured it was not a good thing. So I always,
that charger that I was talking to you about last year that I have a big resistor bank built in, so I can discharge. Well, it'll discharge it up to 40 amps.
wow.
So, because when you're sitting at the field with a fully charged battery, and I'm guessing if your charger discharges, it's probably not a very, very high load. It'll
No.
take a long time to bring it down to storage level from full
It
charge.
does.
What
Yeah,
kind
it
of
really
charger are
does.
you using, Steve? Real Steve. What kind of charger do you have?
I've got an iCharger, a 408 Duo.
Okay.
That's what I had.
I have a Power Lab.
Yeah,
They're no longer made, unfortunately. They're very expensive, but they'll do a discharging and charging on a paraboard. You can daisy chain as many as you want as long as you have enough
Yep.
amps to charge them all. So it generally takes me about 25 minutes to discharge a battery to 56%.
Mm.
I can dump one probably, faster than you could fly it.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
3 minutes will get you there flying easy. Maybe
Yeah.
2.5.
I don't want to dump one that fast though.
When you fly it that fast, what would it hurt?
No, not 3 minutes. You don't.
You dump half power in 3 minutes. I guarantee you'll dump half your power in 3 minutes flying it.
Yeah, yeah. I
Guarantee
think-
You probably
will.
do dump half power. Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like
Guarantee
that. Yeah, you're probably right.
But I'm assuming Bob's charger is the same way. But if you buy once, cry once for a good charger, mine does everything. I charge the gel cell for an electric starter. I charge the
Let
or
acid, you
ice
can charge
starter.
anything.
I
with
can
them, yeah.
charge. Yeah, it does.
You can
any
hot
10
wire wings with that charger because that's what I had too.
It's probably better just to go straight to the power supply and not even use the charger for that.
No, it has a feature right on there for hot wire.
Oh,
408i.
the one Bob has.
No, the one you have, 408i, has a feature on there to hotwire with.
Mine doesn't have anything on it about hot wiring.
Yeah, look in your instructions.
Okay.
That's what
I mean,
that's the charger I had.
what color was it?
Kind of orange red or whatever.
Mine's black with some orange on it, but it
Yeah,
it didn't
maybe.
have the chemistry in there for that. That'd be neat if it is. It might, I carried it all over the country racing cars, but maybe I didn't ever dig into that
I mean, look,
side of it to learn it could do that.
it
My
will.
son Robbie bought two of those Thunder Power 4-bay units where you can, have 4 separate chargers and dischargers in it. That works good too. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just so used to the power,
Oh, God.
that I bought
Yeah.
2 of them, so I have a spare, just in case.
Trying to think back what was the fancy charger? Well, you guys probably weren't, you
Well,
weren't charging
you're thinking of Cell Pro?
No, I forget, but there was this thing it was mainly for charging radio batteries, and you guys wouldn't have been messing with that stuff. So, but it was, I mean, back in the day, all that stuff was insanely expensive. It was probably $700 or something, but
Yeah.
it seems like that's the one thing I will say is a lot of the prices on modeling stuff haven't really gone up the way you would think they would,
Yeah.
Hey, don't say that too loud if somebody's listening.
I know.
When they start making chargers out of balsa wood, the price will go up.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Who sells that? Innovative or
The iCharger,
yeah.
Progressive RC is the importer.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. Let's see here. BRO.
That'd be cool. I didn't know I had a hot wire power supply here.
Yeah. Well, you got a 24-volt power supply for it? Or
Yeah.
12?
24.
Yeah, because I had Will DeMero make me a 24-volt power supply for mine.
Is that shielded so you don't get shocked when you touch the 2 wires?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. There it is, right? Same charger, orange and black. Yeah, it's the same. I don't have it anymore. I sold it, but
Oh, you kicking yourself?
no.
My father built my hot wire cutting unit back in 1968, and put it in a case that he got from Eastern Aircraft when he was the chief engineer at Eastern Aircraft during the war. And it's got a 2-stage transformer, shielded transformer, being controlled by a variac. So I can adjust the heat for the different length wires for different wings, because you have more, longer the wing is, you're going to go up in the heat. So,
Or you can connect your guitar amp to that and make the Brown sound too.
what's that?
You can connect a guitar amp to that and use it to make that Eddie Van Halen Brown sound.
Yeah, I don't want to do that, but you could.
I can't find it. But that's the same charger I had, and it does hot wire.
Huh.
It's got a setting on there. You got to look. Wait a minute. Do you have the one that has the included power supply?
No,
Okay, yeah, that's the same one I had then.
no. I run mine off a couple of, it's basically repurposed server power supplies.
Exactly. That's what Will DeMero made me.
Yeah, I got Will DeMaro's power supply.
I got one left. It's a 12-volt power supply, just single bank.
Steve's got one. I get one of the 12 volts power supplies. I gave him one.
Well, they had to put the two together.
Yeah, that's what I have. You have 2 of them strapped together with duct tape, and it works. I mean, I've used it for years and years and years. And since I really started getting into it, Will hooked me up with that, and it's been working perfectly. I have 2 more of them, but the first one he gave me is perfect. By the way, Will is quite knowledgeable when it comes to all this electric stuff. He's kind of one of my gurus that I go to for information. He works in electronics all day long,
Have you talked to Mark Lanterman again lately?
I did, actually. I did. He said it's going to happen, but right now, and of course he wants to make money, and right now there's a new pylon racing class that is a one design class, and people are clamoring for these little electric pylon racers, and he's going to do a kit for that because he can make enough money just to fund the control line project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Found a guy selling a new Magnum 36 online here for $50.
Yeah.
Tried to buy it, but I don't know if I got it or not.
What are you working on, Stuart?
He's
Cleaning the
rooting
glue
for the
off
Bucks,
my
probably.
steel table.
What's that?
Cleaning the glue off.
Oh, okay. Get ready to
Ready
build
for
something.
next build.
Yeah.
So,
Do you get up on that table and practice your stick handling?
no. Maybe it's a good idea though. I could use some practice.
There's a whole bunch of videos. I just Googled iCharger foam cutting, and there's a whole bunch of videos, Sparky, of people use. I don't happen to see them using the one we had, but they're all very much the same, I think, with software. So there's instructions on how to make that happen.
If you guys ever need any nichrome wire, I have a lifetime supply, several lifetime supplies of it. It's 1.5 ohms per foot wire, which is nominally 20 thousandths thick. When I got into it, my dad found a
I need
supplier.
some, Bob. Let me know how much you want, and I'll send you
Yeah,
some.
just buy me a cup of coffee next time we don't see each other.
I
All
might, if you're gonna be sending some this way, maybe you could have you group some up for both of us and send it.
Yeah, sure. Just drop me an email to remind me because I'm at that age where I forgot what I was.
The one thing I was going to mention to you is you sent me the links for some of those guitar practicing videos.
Mhm.
But you sent those to the other Steve Smith. He forwarded them to me, but
Oh, I'm sorry.
he's
He's a music
he's
guy
the-
too.
he's
Well, I
Steven
don't
Smith.
play music. I listen.
Somebody's got to listen.
That's true.
We got to where that's what I do mostly, just listen.
I like to listen, except for when I'm the one playing it, because it's usually so atrocious that.
Well, I wasn't going to get into that, but okay. Not talking about yours, talking about mine. That's one of those things. It's like a bunch of old stunt pilots getting together. The older I get, the better I used to be.
Can I play audio files on here?
Is it music?
Yeah.
Nope. I'll get a copyright strike.
But it's not copyrighted.
Oh, well, is it from a established band or is it from you?
Oh, it's Rick Campbell, my buddy. We kind of wrote a song together. He did.
Yeah. I'm sure it might be okay, but I really don't want to chance it
Okay.
because YouTube's real stickler on music.
Well, the reason I mentioned it is when I was at the Nationals and I was having all this back and leg problems, every morning I would get up and I'd have to crawl. We were staying with Joel Costantino in his big long trailer. He has this really nice trailer right on site. And every morning I'd get up and crawl across the floor to my medication so I could get through the day. And one morning was particularly bad. And Rick, is a Berkeley School of Music graduate. He's a phenomenal blues player. And he said, "Are you okay?" I said, "No, I'm in cross-eyed pain." So the next day he had written a blues called Cross-Eyed Pain. And when we got home, he recorded it in his studio. He played the drums, the bass, the guitars, everything. And
wow.
Yeah, and he sent me a copy of it, and it's great. So I asked him, I said, because I named the song, do I get a royalty? He says, yeah, we're liable to make tens of dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I hate to be a stickler, Bob, but
That's okay. That's no big deal. I'll send it to Steve. And I'll send it to the other Steve too. They're both music guys. If they want to hear it. If anybody wants to hear it, I'll send it to you. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
I'd like to hear it, Bob.
it's pretty good.
That sounds pretty neat.
Can you do it after hours? Does it matter then?
What's that?
we could
If
do
you-
it. We could
after
do it
9
hours, but not during the YouTube.
Yeah, after
whatever,
nine.
whatever.
I tell you
What we need to get is Bob to play some of the songs that he sang a song on the one night, and I listened to it on the telephone. The man can play and sing.
I'm a good open mic guy, and I do a few gigs here and there with people, but I'm not Billy Weirwich, and I'm not certainly not Rick Campbell.
Nor Tommy Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Has
boy's
anybody, and not to get this into a music thing, has anybody listened? I'm sure that Steve probably knows who we're going to talk about. Matteo Mancuso.
Hmm.
Have you heard of him yet? Matteo
No,
Mancuso. Matteo Mancuso. He makes Al Di Meola look like a rank beginner.
Ooh.
Look
Wow.
him up. Matteo Mancuso.
He comes up as one of the featured artists on not YouTube, but
Flat
Echo.
amazing. He's not from this planet.
Yeah, what is he like 16 or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's a young
yeah,
guy.
I've seen him. I've heard
His
him.
father is a classical. He's an Italian. His father is a classical Italian musician. This kid is he plays with a classical style, but he plays fusion music, which I know Steve loves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know when you get a chance to listen to him, what you think of him.
Yeah, I will definitely check that out.
Enough about music. Let's go back to airplanes. And again, thanks for the strings.
No problem. No problem.
You think I got enough strings now?
Oh, wow.
No, well, the way you were talking, that ought to get you through about 3 weeks, and that's
That's
it.
about it. I change them pretty often.
Yeah.
I wonder if they make good lead outs. Who knows? Maybe the G string will make a good lead out.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
Did you cut phone with it?
Yeah.
I imagine you could. I mean, you can cut foam with almost anything. Anything has resistance. It's going to. Some people
Get
use
hot?
it gets hot, but I've tried it with other things. But the best thing is 1.5 ohms per foot of resistance. Why nichrome?
That not
That seems to be about the best.
We
Steve,
used
if
to
you
could buy
plug
that at the
fully
hobby
charged-
shop.
You plug that
Go
fully
ahead.
charged battery into your partially discharged batteries, you can cut foam with those wires too.
It always amazed me. You take with that new, like you're just going to start your car. You can buy a pretty good sized lithium battery, and it'll start. You hook it up to that dead battery, it won't go. You let it sit there for 30 seconds and hit it, man, it'll start that car. It's amazing that little battery has the amperage push that it has.
Yeah,
because it's flooding that big battery with juice, just like Steve said. When you hook it up, it's flooding that battery, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Steve, what time did you say you're going to go out tomorrow? My cousin was asking. I guess he might be able to come help you.
Oh, about noon.
Don't wait till it gets warm. Oh, okay.
The cracking
Getting,
news.
Yeah.
getting soft on us.
That's early for me.
Oh Lord.
Your airplane's looking good, Sparky.
I'll turn it over here in a minute for you. I got the lettering on the top. It looks.
I like the brown.
Yeah. You would.
Reminds me of my bronze, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob. Oh. Oh Lord.
Not crazy about the yellow and the red, but I like the brown.
Oh my goodness.
That looks great.
Thank you.
The rest of us sitting here BSing, and this guy is building airplanes.
Yeah, that's what I do. 2 hours of taping for 5 seconds of painting.
Yeah, that's about typical. And you're done.
Take long to clean the airbrush up than it does to squirt it.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, one of my favorite things to make myself is a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, and that's why I feel like that. I spend seems like 40 minutes cooking bacon and slicing this and washing lettuce and toasting. Then I get them made, and I go, and they're done. 2 sandwiches gone, just like that.
Hey, I know that Joe Gilbert's going to say, of course, and probably somebody else will too. But you're talking about food. I discovered something this week at 77 years of age. I'm kicking myself because I didn't discover this when I was like 12. Hot sauce.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I like
You
hot
didn't
sauce.
know about hot sauce?
Texas Pete is. I discovered it. I've never used it before, and I put that on everything now, as they say in the commercial.
Yeah.
That dish.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs so I can douse it with hot sauce.
I had a friend of mine, no joke, went to Texas and found Texas Pete and bought a bottle of it and sent it to me because this cool stuff. He says that he sent me a note with it. He says, now that you're not a national tech anymore, you don't travel. I found this stuff in Texas. This will give you a reason to wish you could go back to Texas. I didn't have the heart to write him and tell him it's made at T.G. Garner Foods in Winston-Salem. I've known about this stuff all my life.
How hot
Oh,
is
me.
it, Bob? Is it real hot?
No.
But
Spicy, but not
you
hot.
get different levels. On the side, it has a little thermometer. So I got the medium. Medium's plenty good.
Yeah, that's what we always get.
You know what my favorite stuff is Taco Bell fire sauce. I used
Yeah.
to go up there and just
Get the
a
hot,
bag.
and you'll have about the same thing.
So the hot, okay. So I usually like it a little hotter than the Taco Bell hot.
Yeah, get the hot. You'll like
I'll
it.
tell you guys one thing. If you ever go to a Thai restaurant, and
Oh yeah.
the first time
Get
you
it
go,
Thai hot.
they're going to ask you if you want a 1 to a 5.
Mm.
I'm recommending to everyone here, if you're trying it for the first time, do a 1.
Just get it
Yeah.
Thai hot and learn about it real quick. Is my recommendation.
I thought I
Just
would be
get it
real
Thai
smart.
hot right from the get go.
A
I
3
got a
will
3.
set you free.
I got a 3, and a 3 will set you free. Yeah. It'll open your sinuses real quick.
Oh my
Thai hot, you'll be
and a
sweating.
few other orifices as well, you know.
Yeah.
You guys ever eat wasabi?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I
That's a-
like
Yeah,
wasabi.
that'll open your sinuses.
With
No,
sashimi.
don't you guys think that wasabi is it's more like a radish, like it's hot,
That's
but then it's
different.
gone right away.
That's
Whereas
right.
Yeah,
pepper
green,
hot,
yeah.
like it just sticks in your mouth and won't go away.
And your lips burn
Any-
for an hour.
Anything
Yeah.
green, you gotta worry about. That's hot. You gotta worry about.
Sushimi
But
with
if anybody-
wasabi. Wow.
But if anybody ever hands you a little jar of little bottles about like this, and you're in a Mexican restaurant, they hand you a little bottle like this to add to your chili.
And it's
be
brown?
No, it's white.
Oh,
It
boy.
looked like milk. Be real careful. That's called ghost pepper sauce.
Wow.
And it is hot. Lord have mercy, it's hot.
You guys ever watched the show Hot Ones? Have you seen that?
Was it?
I don't know that one.
It's called Hot Ones. I forget the guy's name, but he's kind of a younger interview guy, and he gets celebrities and rock stars on this show, and he interviews them. But while he's interviewing them, they're sitting across the table from each other, and they're eating hot wings, and they start. There's like 20
Oh,
different
seen the
wings as they
commercials.
step through.
Yeah.
And most of them don't make it all the way through, but sometimes
No.
celebrity will make it to the end and eat them all, and it's not who you would think. It's usually some little tiny girl, or you know what I mean.
That little tiny, she's beautiful, little tiny girl says delicious. And that was the hot one. I thought,
Yeah,
what in the
Yeah.
world?
but it's interesting to watch because they're trying to have a conversation. Meanwhile, usually the guest is like, "How bad is this next one? Am I going to be okay?" And they're all worried about it.
Eyes are watering. They're hurting so bad.
Yeah,
You ever see the movie The Wild Hogs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
They
yeah.
go to that place where they go to a fair and they're having a chili contest, and Bill Macy meets up with what's her name, the girl from My Cousin Vinny. Anyway, meets up with her, and she's making chili, and he says, "Oh," she says, "It's hot." He says, "Oh, I'm fine." He's trying to impress her, and
Bill May.
he's like, she says, "Don't worry, you're not going to die."
Some of that stuff, it can kill people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's stuff that can stop your heart and stuff for real.
Wow.
And that hot.
Yeah. Ghost pepper sauce has a warning on it about that.
We got any airplane stuff that's
I
supposed
do. I
Right.
do. I went and flew those my little tutors, and they turned so hard it threw the crank out of that Fox 35. Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Turned so hard
Well,
it broke.
Bob's got a whole bunch of Fox 35 parts if he hadn't already cut them up.
For tip weight.
Yeah.
Do you recognize that crank? That doesn't look stock to me. Do you Fox 35 guys recognize that?
Mm.
That looks like one of the super cranks.
I thought it was a Randy Smith crank, but I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. Randy Smith super crank.
Because I had this engine. I think this is a Randy crank, and I have a ceramic piston and sleeve in it, and a Hemi head and a
That's a
stepper
Randy.
Plate.
That sounds like a Randy engine.
By the way, I talked to Randy yesterday.
Good.
How's he doing?
Not good.
No.
He's got Parkinson's disease, so keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Oh man.
They said that his website was down, and they asked if he was out of business. I don't know.
He's not doing well. So, keep me in your thoughts and prayers.
For sure.
I know he sold a bunch of his airplanes, because I know a guy that bought the Vector and I forgot the new one. It looks like an SV11, but it's a much later version than the 11.
We got a nice Dreadnought. It was a real nice Dreadnought.
Dreadnought, that was it. The Dreadnought, yeah. No, it wasn't a Dreadnought. Dreadnought's the one that
Randy Smith story. I like curves on my
Dreadnought's the one that's rounded. Yeah, it's not
I like curves on my airplanes.
I do too.
And my buddy Tom Hampshire goes out to all these flea markets, and he found a Lufkin ship's curve that was probably from the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought it for me because he knows how much I like curves and drawing curves.
Yeah.
He gave it to me as a Christmas present. So I said, this gives me an idea. I said, for Randy Smith for Christmas, I'm going to order him a bunch of straight edges.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You get to see him. Zip, stop, zip, SV22. Zip, stop, zip, SV23.
Y'all are bad.
That's okay. I told that right to his face. He left.
Oh, he would. Randy's a great guy. I hadn't talked to Ronnie Farmer lately. He's the one I always keep in touch with Randy with. Ronnie's last time I talked to him, he's doing pretty good, but he's not gotten over losing his wife. He's very they're very good people, very religious, very good people, but he's having a hard time getting over losing his wife. If any of you that don't know, he was in a band in the 60s.
Heck of a guitar.
He was heck of a guitar player, and he can sing. So I went down there one night, and we stayed at the field way too late, and things in Atlanta in those days closed up pretty much at 7:00. And he says, come over to the house. I got something I want to show you. So I went over to the house, and this guy made me a couple of hot dogs, and with everything on them, it made me sit down and eat. I was going to try to grab something on the way back to the hotel. I said, get in here, sit down and eat. He picks up a guitar and starts singing. I mean, this dude can sing. Ronnie Farmer is very talented.
He used to jam with him.
He had a Stiletto 35 that was 90% or 95%. I mean, it's already a 35 size, and he shrunk it. But this thing was a piece of plastic. Beautiful. Went to a contest, and he'd been up till 2:00 in the morning playing guitar for I don't remember if it was just a dance or if it was a senior prom, but anyway, come up and they had him go up second or third, and he looked like he just went to sleep at the handle and crashed the airplane. I don't think he's built or flown anything since, but great guy.
Yeah, he had back in 77, he had a little, like you said, about a 3/4 size Stiletto. It was a really nice little airplane.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I looked at that thing at a contest, and of course, he came with Tom Dixon. Now, Tom Dixon can throw a plane together in a week and fly it and win the contest. But it looks like it was put together in a week. I mean, it compared. I'm not saying it looks bad. His planes look good. I've got one of them, and he does a nice job. But compared to this thing Ronnie Farmer had, it looked like it was done in a week. Ronnie's looked like he spent 6 months just putting the ink on this thing.
Probably did.
Yeah. And Tom says, yeah, he put more time in the finish than he did in building the airplane. May have. But he was learning to fly, and he was getting pretty good until he crashed that one. And like I say, I don't remember him ever finishing another airplane after that. He may have, but I don't remember ever seeing it.
Is that a Pache airbrush?
Iwata.
Iwata, okay.
I want one.
It's a rainbow?
Eclipse.
Eclipse, okay. I have an Iwata rainbow.
I think I got 10 airbrushes. I got one that's really good. It's for doing fine art and graphics. It's from Krios, Japan.
Oh.
The PS 771. And it'll spray a line the size of a hair.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, how are you? Where you been?
Hanging around like a
Well,
hare
it's
in a
good to
biscuit.
see. It's good to see you again. Been a while, lady.
Yeah, I've had some health issues and finally decided to get back on.
Yeah, I've had a few
Uh,
myself.
I found out a while back that I was diagnosed with stage 3 kidney failure, so
Oh, brother.
I got to watch that. So, but my eyesight's gone to shit again, so I can't I can't build because I can't hardly see a ruler or tape measure to measure anything. So
Oh, man.
I got to get my eyes fixed before I can build again. So
Yeah. Well, I found out I had congestive heart failure, and that has slowed me down, but it hasn't stopped me yet. I'm walking a lot more, and that little terrorist of mine gets me out walking. That little 17, 18 pound, I think he's 18 pounds, pulls me around the neighborhood like a rag doll. But anytime I'm really feeling low or feeling like I just can't go, that's when he wants to get up and go. And he always seems to know how to get me going. I don't know what it is.
What's ironic about mine is I work for Specialty Water Technologies, and we build kidney dialysis systems.
Yeah.
So I asked him if I could get a discount on a home model if I need one.
What'd they tell you?
We might be able to work something out.
Good. That's good.
But
I have several friends on dialysis.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I talked to Billy this week. He was in the hospital, Billy Werwich. He was in for a urinary tract infection and an abscess.
Oh, brother.
On dialysis 3 days a week. So
oh, brother.
Keep him in your. He's back home again.
Yeah, he's been on the list.
Thoughts and prayers.
He's I still refer to him as the man.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I
Best I've ever seen.
Refer to him now as the old man.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
He hasn't lost his sense of humor though.
That's good. He's a one of a kind. They broke the mold when they made him. Great guy though. We talked at the Worlds one time, not this last one, but the one before that was in Muncie. And he taught me more about a couple of things in 10 minutes than I've learned in a lifetime. Because I've always wondered why it didn't work. And he explained why it didn't work and how to fix it. And I thought, if anybody else had told me to try this, to change the plane like this, I would say they're nuts. But it was Bill. So I came home and I took the plane and I changed it and it worked. So anyway, I don't know.
He's well known being a trimmer, isn't he, Bobby?
Absolutely.
Isn't he as good a trimmer as says on the planet?
All my new airplanes and Robbie's airplanes, we take the trip out to Berea. We spend whole days out at the field flying and trimming airplanes.
I've heard he's as good as anybody or better than everybody. I don't know. Really good.
What was the stuff? What was the stuff?
There were two guys that I heard of that were really, really good. Watch you fly your airplane and then tell you what to do to it. And if you do it and try it again, it works. Billy was one of them. The other one was
Bob Whiteley.
Bob Whiteley. Yep. And Bob Whiteley told me something at VSC. I took a plane out there and I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't fly out there the way it did here. And Whiteley come up and he says, you need to change this, you need to change this. And did you mind if I tell you how to fix it? Looked up and I saw who it was. I said, no, Bob, I don't mind at all. Give me an idea because I've tried everything I know. And he told me 3 things to do. And I never have in my life, I've never made 3 trim adjustments at one time before, but that worked. And it worked well. So I said, well, okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Great
I
loss.
tried it and it worked. Do what?
It was a great loss to our community when he died.
Yeah, he was a cocky son of a gun, but he could back it up.
It's great.
Yeah.
I loved him. He was awesome.
Senator,
I
ultimate.
thought so too.
Well, if you're going
I
to
thought
talk
so.
the talk, you got to walk the walk.
Boy, he could do it.
I met him in 203 and I was scared of him. And then about 5 or 6, little boy came out the Nober. Mike, what was his name?
Michael Duffy.
Michael Duffy come.
Mike Duffy.
And I'm
yeah.
watching him out there helping Mike. I'm thinking, this dude ain't that ain't right. So I tried to meet him. He's just a great big puppy dog. He was a great guy, man.
Yeah.
I talked to Mike last week. Michael Duffy's.
Did you? Yeah.
He called me up out of the blue sky.
I'll be darned. We saw him
That's
last
cool.
year at Tucson. I think he was out for a day, pulling around a
Kids.
couple children with him. He's doing fine then.
Then to his kids, that's for sure. That's good.
Yep.
You know,
He had his kids with him.
I
Nice young man.
met Lee in '73, my first stunt nats, and I was kind of out there, a fish out of water, and I was alone with Andy Lee, and I went out together, and I was scared to death, and you know how he talked in short bursts because he was an air traffic controller.
Yes.
Hey, you okay? I said, yeah. Bob Whiteley's talking to me. You know, it's like, you know, what did I do right? You know, and he says, "I'm watching you. You look nervous." I said, "I am." He said, "Well, don't be. You're doing good." You know, and he kind of calmed me down. And we've been friends. We're friends ever since. I talked to him the day before he died. I told him get his ass out of bed and get to the flying field, and he left. He said, "If you get to the flying field, I'll get on an airplane and fly out there, and we'll fly together." He said, "I'll give you a call." And then the next day,
He was a good dude, man. I liked him a lot.
He was.
the best.
He took on me. It was at Tucson, and he showed up with that Shark 35.
Yep.
And he said, "This is the one that's going to win," and he dang near did.
Then the wind in 03 or 04? 04 in the wind? Is that the year you're talking?
I can't remember. His first year, he had the Shark 35. It was brand new. It still had an FP 40 in it.
Host that won the 5 in that little era.
Yeah. And buddy, when he showed up fly, he meant business. But there was this cat there named Hunt, and he just was not going to be denied.
Warwick was there too in 04, I think, wasn't he?
Got me 1 year by half a point, and
Uh-huh.
and I was happy for him because you know, he won the first one. You know, he won the very first one with the Ken High Panther.
Yeah.
And then he won the last year I went there. Half a point. He broke my string. I would have had 6 in a row. That's okay.
I wanted to build a Kenai Panther so bad. I had one when I was young, and I'm talking 16, 17, but it did not fly like the one he had. It had a McCoy 35 in it. It just didn't have the beans. Of course, I didn't know anything but 5% nitro. So
They got a skinny wing.
yeah, they do.
Sure. I got this great picture. I took a VSC 2 or 3. And I had, there was a bunch of people flying the same airplane, a bunch of GLD Olympics. We had some Noblers, we had some Chiefs, and something else. And I took group pictures. Aries. That was actually on the cover of the magazine for that. Wrote it up.
Yeah.
They had the Olympics. Bob Whiteley and this guy Dino Mincelli or something had one, and
There's 4 of them.
Bob Gialdini was there with one, and somebody else had one. And it was really cool because Gialdini's was, you know, right off the plans. And then you looked at Bob's and Dino's, and we called them the Olympic butt line specials because the tail mowing arm was about 4 inches longer.
Cheaters.
No. The Olympic butt line special.
I can never figure out how people come to the field with a plane like, I mean, if it was a, you name it, okay, nobody ever sees those. They don't know what those look like. I mean, I do, but most people don't. But they come with a Nobler or an Olympic or an Aries or something that's got an obvious, 2 or 3 inches longer tail moment or bigger wings, or that guy that showed up with a boxcar Chief to one of our events and had a Super Tiger 35 for power, but the tail was at least 2 inches longer and the wing was 2 panels longer on each side. Oh, that's right off the plans. I said, really? Because I've got one over there that I'm flying, and mine's a whole lot littler than yours. Good grief. Oh,
You guys.
Oh, here it is. I got the picture. I just found it.
Got
Oh,
a
good.
question.
You're gonna laugh when you see that. You look at Bob Gialdini's he's kneeling in the foreground, and then you look at the other ones and look at the difference in the tail moments.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
good gosh. Chris's is huge. Chris put his up there where you can see it. It's huge.
Chris is
Good gracious.
right there, Chris McMillan.
Yeah.
Which one's Chris?
Got an 18-inch tail moment.
The one on the right with a greenish bluish green, whatever.
Okay, yellow shirt.
That's Chris McMillan.
Yeah, that's huge. Oh my goodness.
That was the second version, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think so. Golly day. How
The
about
white one
that?
in back looks about right.
It looked a
Well,
little
at that angle,
You're
you
a little
can't
low?
tell.
Well, you can't tell, but they don't look as bad as Chris's.
looked right to me. I don't know. Bob,
Wow.
he's-
That's a tail moment, all right. Good gracious.
Ask your question, Stuart.
This looks like it's got water damage in it.
yeah.
Just wondered if you use a piece of wood like that and you go to paint it, will it cause problems with the paint or something with bleeding or anything, or if anybody had any problems doing something like that?
Heard of Sparky on that one.
If it's light, you can send it to me.
I
I
guess
think
that
that's
means
a
it's
no.
okay.
Just
I think
seal
it'll
it.
be okay.
2 grams.
Just seal it good, Stuart. It'll be all right.
You go put dope it to seal it anyhow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it could bleed through, or you know what I mean?
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
use a blocking coat. You'll be fine.
Okay.
You don't want to put white. I mean, you don't want to build it with clear and then put white over it and then clear over that and expect it to stay. But if you'll
Yeah.
put a blocking coat over that, gray. Oh, I use polar gray and white mixed because I talked to Billy trying to get a lighter finish, and that's what he told me to do. Mix polar gray, and white equal parts, and use that. And it comes out a light gray, but it blocks everything. And you put it over open bays, and when you put it up in the sun, you don't see right through it like you do. Some of these planes look like you could read the newspaper through the wing.
And when you peel the tape off when you're painting, it doesn't pull the silver up with it, So
Yeah, really.
here's another
Yeah.
picture of that same VSC.
Silver was nasty stuff. Hey, that
Jim
looks like the
Lee.
same that looks
Jim
like the same
Lee,
problem.
George. Who's the one in the middle and front?
That's Lou Walgast, and the one on the right is Randy Cubberly.
That's Randy.
Randy
Oh my
Cub.
word! I can see Lou now that you tell me, but I wouldn't have guessed Randy. I'll be darned.
And 3 of them are 52 Noblers, and Lou's is a green box.
I'll be darned.
Jim Lee's almost looks like a
It looks like a stretched
Geese
tail, but
looks like a
but
geese.
the flaps down. Yeah.
The flaps are down.
52
It's got a square tail like a geese to me.
That's the 52 Nobler. That's the one that was actually in the article, Stunting Can Be Smooth. There was never actually a Nobler article. It was included in an article he did for Model Airplane News called Stunting Can Be Smooth. It was a 2-part thing. And the plans for that airplane in there, but he never actually published it as the Nobler.
Well, the early ones, the 51 one, the old time legal, it's a different wing.
Yeah, what they call that, the 52.
That's what they call the 52. Okay.
51, 52. 51's got bigger flaps, 52, and it's thinner wing. 52 is a little bit bigger wing, but it's thicker wing, but same size, smaller flaps. And then the 57's just a different wing altogether. But
the 57 is what I thought was a green box.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I have one kit left downstairs
Don't have
I've
any tick left.
let several of them go, but I'm gonna hang on to that one.
Wow. That's impressive.
What did, Bob, what did Gildini say about those modified, airplanes?
Oh, he didn't say anything. He was
He didn't
class.
say anything?
He cared. What do we care?
Bob was a class act. You showed up to fly and have fun.
I mean, we
That's all he
busted,
cared about.
but we didn't protest it or anything. We could care less, you know.
Hmm.
Why? You know, back then, you know, everybody is so stuck on this fidelity thing.
Yeah,
None of us built the same airplane back then out of the kit box. So we all changed something. So many different variations of those airplanes that there was probably one with a longer tailbone arm. Who knew? You know,
ah,
we
okay.
never about that.
I am curious about what Stuart's, looking at. He's got some plans out on the table there.
I'm gonna build a dagger.
A dagger.
Yeah. So I'm just realizing there's only one sheet of plans. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have I was hoping for the top view. So that I could lay it down on my building board, like on a magnetic board, put it together.
That Tom Dixon's plan.
What's
Tom
that?
Dixon's dagger.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh.
I have that. There's no top view. I have that plane. I have those plans. I haven't built the plane, but I do have the plans.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's like, he's got the one sheet, but like I say, there's no top view. So I wanted to tape the top view to the magnetic balloon board
Yeah.
and then build up from that. But maybe he hasn't got it. Maybe he just has the one sheet.
Does it have the bulkheads there?
Have to.
I mean, this?
Yeah, all of them.
Should be 3 of them or 4 of them anyhow. 5 of them. F1, F2 behind the wing and the tail one for sure.
You can extrapolate the top view if you have the formers with.
It only shows one.
You can extrapolate the top anyway. Build your motor crutch and then put your fuselage with the first former that it does show. That's F1. Put that up there, clamp it together, draw a straight line on a board, pull it back into an even arc, and then start measuring across where you want the bulkheads.
Yeah. That's what I kind of figured I had to do something like that. All right. Well, yeah, Len will help me too. He knows this. He's built one, I think.
See, guys, can I ask a question about those older designs you were just talking about in the picture there?
Absolutely.
So I gather that say a old time stunt airplane wouldn't be competitive against I don't know, an N-30, which of course is not as good as a modern plane. How would you characterize the steps along the way? I mean, I realize that's maybe not accurate
Well,
in
if you
every case, but
Joe Gilbert, then that statement is true.
what would you say, you know, what are the big, since I wasn't here for any of this, what were the big, you know, points in stunt where, you know, oh, this new thing came along and made the old stuff obsolete kind of thing?
Pipe. The pipe, that's it.
The engine run. And
No, flaps. Flaps was the first thing. When they added flaps, things started changing quick. Then the next thing was the motors went from the semi ignition motors to the real OS-35S. I think that was the biggest step up, because that was such a step up over the Fox, at least in my opinion. That was a good one, but that was a big thing. But as far as the airplanes, when they added flaps, that was a big change. But you get a flapped airplane, a good flapped airplane, and you get a ringmaster, and you bring Joe Gilbert on the field, forget it. Everything's equal.
Changes.
I have never seen anybody do what Joe Gilbert can do with a ringmaster. I saw him dust a field of advanced flyers now with modern airplanes with a ringmaster, and he legitimately won the darn thing.
I think he won an expert meet with one, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that. I heard Tom Dixon told me about it. He says, I got one on you. He said, what's that? I said, I saw Joe fly. I said, oh, I've seen Joe fly. No, I saw him fly expert with that ringmaster. And I'm not talking a 5.76. I'm talking a ringmaster.
It'll fly.
And he legitimately whooped him. I
Yep.
mean, I've got a ringmaster I thought flew pretty darn good.
I guess
Then
you
I
missed
watched
a
Joe.
decent trainer.
I watched Joe fly at Brodak last year, and I left my ringmaster in the car. I didn't want to get embarrassed that bad.
Just
That
the
man can fly.
airplane.
No, I was
So to
feeling
make
bad
your
last year. But anyway, I took the
other
plane
than the
hoping I could
flaps,
at least
that's the
fly
only
old time. But
airframe
I
thing that changed.
Steve, in my opinion, you could take a Cavalier or Caprice, Gypsy, any of the decent old classic airplanes and put a modern power plant in it, and it'll hang a long time.
yeah,
You ain't gonna win the Nats with it, but you can.
it'll
It'll
take you a
hang with
long
you.
way.
I think the getting a bigger than 18% tail is a big deal, and I don't
Yeah.
know. Some people say that 19 or 20-inch tail feathers, it has to be. I don't know about that. I've flown some airplanes with 16-inch tails that fly off are good too. It's the power plant, how much elevator flap, how good's the guy on the handle.
Is it
There's a
wet?
lot of stuff going on. What,
Yeah,
Bobby?
the handle has an awful lot to do with it.
They got to be light.
That's right. And a classic airplane, if you put an Aero Tiger in it, this is Joe Gilbert's opinion, and I don't want to argue with nobody, and that don't matter anyhow. An Aero Tiger's worth 30 points over a Fox 35 in a Cavalier
God, yeah.
or Caprice or Nobra.
At least.
Mine, I had an Aero Tiger in my Caprice for the new one has electric motor. It's even better. But
It's even better. Okay.
it's way better.
And you can fly those
electric?
airplanes a little bit more nose heavy if they're light too, Steve, and they'll lock in a little better at that little tail. If they're light, they got to be light, in my opinion.
Power system you use in your Caprice?
Say again?
I was asking Bob,
Oh.
what power system does he use in his Caprice? I know what you use. You use the same thing I do, Air Tiger. But
And
Bob's got an electric that is.
Yeah, what's the electric?
Yeah.
got a badass 2820 970 no 870 with
2820.
a 200 5S, a 35 amp Jetty 33, I think it is, and I got a Fiorati timer and a badass reverse pitch prop.
So you're still on the reverse pitch prop.
On and off, depending
On
on
and off.
some airplanes work well with it, and some airplanes work well with something else.
The first time I met Bob Hunt was at the Roadhouse Roach Motel in Tucson. I forget Roadhouse they called it, didn't they? What was that place
Yeah.
called?
Roadway.
That's
Roadway.
Roadhouse.
Okay.
Roadway.
And I was walking
That's
out
it,
of my
Roadway.
car, and I didn't know Bob, but I knew who Bob was because I'd seen him in the magazines. And he's
Mhm.
carrying his little Caprice. I said, "Oh, that's beautiful." And he handed it to me. And I said, "You're a cheater." And he looked at me. I said, "This sucker don't weigh nothing." He said, "Weighs 36 ounces." I said, "Yeah, it don't weigh nothing. I can tell." That airplane was killer, dude.
It was a
Killer
killer.
airplane.
You know what Bob Whiteley said to me one year? This is the airplane right there.
That's it.
Yeah.
He said to me after the fifth win, he said this really, really seriously. He says, "You'll bring that again next year. We're going to hang you and burn the airplane."
He probably meant it too.
They threatened me at Tucson for years with the Ringmaster for a long time. I put it in the truck. I wouldn't even leave it sit out. I'd put it up.
I wasn't going to take a chance, you know.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed though, Joe's got several ringmasters. I think he must always have one on the board. Every time I see him, he's got a super light ringmaster, but every year it looks a little different.
That one got recovered 5 times.
Good gracious.
207 model.
There's Jonathan from down under.
All right. And Mark.
Mark's here. Len's here. Wow, we got a good crowd.
From
Look at
Kiwi
this.
Land, not to be mistaken for Aussie Land. When they
Right.
got them
Kiwi
kangaroos.
land.
Yeah.
Make the mistake one time.
So
they
I
never let you live it down.
read an article the other day about the great emu war. Have you heard of that, Jonathan?
That's Australian, isn't it? Emu walk.
I think so. Yeah, they brought a bunch of guys out with machine guns because the emus were overrunning the field.
Yeah.
And the emus used guerrilla tactics and broke up into smaller groups, and they couldn't get them even with the machine gun.
Oh God!
I had to get rid of them. They were running around selling insurance to everybody.
Yeah.
Liberty, liberty, liberty.
I'm telling you.
Have you got a company over there called Emu? Have you?
Yeah, we got
It's Liberty Mutual. They got a commercial series with a guy with an emu.
Ah,
Wears glasses and everything. It's cool.
He's got a 70 Duster and an emu. That's Limu, Emu, and Doug.
Must be on YouTube.
one where the emus.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet
Leaving
it
home
is.
well, you think an emu's big or an emu? You want to look up moa, and it's
Moa?
an extinct bird. A moa, MOA, New Zealand moa, and they range from about the size of a sheep right up to about the size of an ox.
Oh my!
Wow.
Huge.
And it's a bird?
They would kill people. Yeah, they were huge. And
They
the
don't
Maoris,
fly, right?
No, the Maoris used to eat them, and of
Yeah.
course, setting fire to all the bush when the white man came, and the Maoris used to set fire to bush and try and drive them up into places they couldn't get out of, and then go in and kill a moa. And of course, they became extinct. They became wiped out. I think the first white man who probably set foot here may have seen one. And then they became wiped out. We also had an eagle here that was so large, it has been reported, Maori legend and tales handed down, that they would steal children.
Oh my goodness!
They would take off. They had about a 12 or 14 foot wingspan, and they would grab children, Maori children.
We got that here, but they live in Philadelphia.
Yeah. So no, we don't have any snakes and things that'll sort of eat you in the bush. We've got a couple of spiders you got to be careful of, but nothing else really. So the birds grew to enormous size, and some of them were flightless, like the kiwi and the moa. And we've still got the world's biggest parrot. I think it's called the kaka. We've got a number of parrots, native parrots, and you don't park your car down at Mount Cook in the Southern Alps, because if you park your car in the car park, the Kia, they call it a Kia, K-E-A, not like the car, K-I-A, but the Kia come down out of the mountains and they'll tear the rubber off your car, they'll rip the windscreen wipers off.
Oh man.
I have a question.
What the damn thing to bits, yeah. They're really clever too. They're really smart, and they'll do tricks and stuff, and people love them, but they're pretty destructive.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is this one.
that's the electric one.
That's the electric one?
That's
It's the same airplane, isn't it?
same airplane.
No.
You just converted it.
No, it's a brand new airplane, but
It's a new airplane. Okay.
fine. Yeah, that's the new one.
Well, I know it didn't weigh much when you handed it to me. I thought, holy mackerel. I think I was carrying my remains in. That dust devil tore the heck out of my Go Devil, if I remember right.
I don't think I've ever seen Bob with a heavy airplane.
I'm sure not.
I've picked up a few of them, touched a few of them.
Depends on what you call heavy.
Well,
Love that cockpit. I love that canopy. Nice.
the heaviest one that I remember Bob flying for its size, and weight is relative, you got to remember that, for its size, was a little bitty old timer he had at Tucson that looked like it was still trying to dry.
Oh,
I wondered.
The
Frisky Pete.
Pete.
And I wondered how in the world he was going to perform, how this is going to do. He flew it so fast, if he flew an error, they couldn't see it. so they couldn't count him down for it. That thing, I mean, it was screaming.
When the engine quit, it glided like a set of keys.
Just chunk them. Just chunk it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I thought that my hotter than that flew fast until I watched Bob fly.
It was a good little
And I thought I'll go home and build one of those. I'll have to get the plans. I'll go and build one of those because it was so cute. Then I watched Bob fly it, and I just turned Tom Looper and said, "Forget that. Too fast for me."
Tell you something. It was a real old timey airplane. The finish was old time too. It had a coat of Imron on it.
Wow.
Airplane. I built the airplane a week before VSC, and finished it the night before leaving. It had the Imron was still gassing off when I put it in the box, and I could swear on the airliner on the way out we could smell the Imron. You know.
Oh my gosh.
So I got out, no test flights on it, had 12,000 solids on it. Billy and I went over to the back circle and begged the flight so we could, because I was up first. And
Wow.
I got one test flight. We walked it over to the main circle. They pulled the pull test unit out on the circle to pull it because I didn't even go to the pull test area. And I won the first round on the second flight of the airplane. And then on the second round, I left out a maneuver.
Oh.
As fast as you were flying, I'm not surprised.
As fast as that went, I'm surprised they caught it.
Yeah. I mean, that thing was booking, guys. Billy let go of this airplane, and it was on the other half of the circle. I thought I was watching what is that little race plane, little tiny 15 race plane? I thought I was watching one of those darn things go.
Yes.
No, not good gears. These are faster than that. These are
FAI airplanes.
Team race. Perky?
Perkies. I watched those for the first time at Brodak year before last. And I mean, they asked me to fly one of them. I said, I'll see if I can time one, but forget fly it. They let go of that thing, and it was on the other side of the circle by the time I figured out where it was. That thing was fast and loud, but it was sure sharp. Hang on a minute. I'm gonna get a picture of that.
Fastest thing I've ever flown was I've got a junior flight streak. I took the landing gear off of it and extended the elevator and put a 25 on it.
Yeah, that'd be quick.
Oh, it was, and with that extra elevator on it, it would. I could do a loop inside my house. You know, it's almost combat style. It was too fast, and I went to do a snap into a wing over, and the upline broke.
Oh.
And
it snapped into the ground.
I shoved it all the way to the leading edge, and and it wasn't but about 6 feet off the ground when it started. So, but it survived. I don't know how. I guess the ground was soft enough, but yeah, I dug dirt out of that motor for a week.
Yeah.
I got a picture for you here, guys. This was from the second VSC. Wait a minute, that's not it.
Was it night?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that picture now. There it is.
Oh yeah.
That was
all right. Who are those guys?
That's Bob Hazel on the left.
Hazel,
Yeah.
Bob,
Lou Woolard,
Bob Hazel, Lou
Hoffman.
Yeah.
Hoffman's in the yellow one.
They're all Aries.
Yep.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
And
Who's
that
the guy in the back?
I
Who's the
wonder
guy in
what
the
Lou had in his.
Who's the red one? The red airplane.
Lou Woolard.
Oh, Lou Woolard. Yes,
That's
yes,
Lou
yes.
Woolard,
Sure
man.
it is.
I
And
wondered
Jim
what
Hoffman
motor
in the
he-
yellow one.
I wonder what motor Lou had in his because he was the master of the Fox
Yeah.
40.
Oh, it's a Fox 40 or Fox 35, one or the other.
That was VSC 2. I went out there to cover it for the magazine. I didn't have an airplane, and Bob Hazel lent me that Aries, and I had to give up appearance points, and I took fourth.
That was the first year at Tucson
Wow.
right there, too.
Second, oh yeah, first year at Tucson.
First
right.
year at Tucson's what that was.
It was at Riverside the other time, right?
Uh-huh. That's what I think.
89. Yeah.
I've got one. I bought 2 engines from Bob Hazel that were OS 35S's at Big Art. They'd
Hey, I
done for
noticed-
marrying him.
I noticed in that picture, Bob, in the circle behind in the background had different lanes in it. Is that for different size lines, or did they race 3 at a time?
I don't know. I don't know.
I would think that's a racing circle.
Looks
too.
like it's got 3 lanes in it.
The team race and various class racer.
Catalinas, right? That's the Catalina
Yeah,
map.
it's taken to
Yeah.
the north.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell you what, when we were there the last time, the guys there's a lake back there, and there was guys back there with sailboats. And I'm used to seeing sailboats. These were the 2-runner type, and they lifted up and were on little planes like the real race boats now.
Catamarans.
Catamarans, there you go. These things were booking, man. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
You guys seen the America's Cup stuff?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
The catamarans come completely out of the water. They got a little shaft down that's got a little wing looking thing, and that's what the whole boat's riding on.
7-ton riding on something about the size of your dining table. Amazing. Just amazing.
That lake attracts great blue herons too.
It does. And gooses and geeses.
Yeah.
Blue herons that kill P40s.
Hey, Joe, have you seen the 70% Mustang? You need to buy one of those.
No. Well, I've seen the 5150. A whole bunch of people have tried that. You just can't.
Check this out. Look it up on the on YouTube. The 70% Mustang. We watched it today.
Yeah, all carbon
100%.
fiber.
Oh, that's one out of Germany. It's got a Rotex engine in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they even put a sound on it. When you start it, it sounds like a Merlin start and got a speaker in it.
And it comes as a kit, a giant.
Yes.
Yeah,
they're
it's a
selling
big
out those
kit.
down in Arkansas, where they're selling them from.
Yeah.
100 miles from us, probably.
Yeah, but they're real expensive.
I think
$300K.
$325,000, I think.
Yeah. 400,000.
That's just pocket.
They more now, huh? Yeah, I know the airplane. I know
I'll take two.
That's equivalent.
There you go, Eddie.
The two-place carbon. They even put the rivets in them and all this. They look just like a real one. They got the rivets in the right places and the lines.
Yeah, they do the rivets in the carbon.
That's right.
They sound like a real one going overhead due to aerodynamics, because everything's exactly right.
You gonna buy one, Joe?
No.
Has it got the whistle when it comes by?
Yes.
Oh, son.
Those are awesome.
If you just don't buy 4 gallons of fuel, you can afford one.
Yeah.
If I was going to spend that much money, I'd go get a game bird. Look up a game bird. You want to see an airplane. Yeehaw.
You know what the whistle is?
The who?
The whistle on the Mustang.
Oh, that's the exhaust out of
the gun cooling.
The scoop.
Yeah. Well, the scoop underneath is the radiator. It's just like the Corsair. It's got the air intake that goes over the gun barrels to cool them off.
Yeah.
Whistles as it comes through there.
It's the cannon housing.
Oh.
When the Mark 9 Spitfire flies over here and the Mustang flies over, they both sound the same sort of Merlin engine sound, but the Mustang's got a beautiful whistle to it that comes out of the gun muzzles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a whistle as she goes over as well. Oh,
it's like
God.
The Corsair, the Japanese dubbed it the whistling death.
Hey, Joe, they compared it to your airplane. You got an RB9, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they compared it to an RB9.
This supposed to be that easy to fly, they claim.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Retract gear, stall speeds down to 60.
Oh, look at that.
There's a Mustang right
nice.
there.
It sounded like a Fox 35 when it went over.
What is that?
That's the one that won the very first old time stunt contest with that airplane.
It's a Mustang.
Yeah, it's a Vico Mustang.
Sterling
Vico
Mustang.
Vico.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Vico Mustang.
Yeah, Vico, I think.
Look how that airfoil is.
1970.
It's got Tomahawk.
How big is that? What motor it's got? A 29 or something?
Got a Fox 30. It has a anniversary special Fox in it.
What size is that? 35?
35, yeah.
That's a 500-inch airplane, 510 maybe, isn't it, Bob?
Oh no, it's 409 square inches.
400. That's small. 409.
Yeah,
I thought they're bigger than that.
Is that a tapered leading and trailing edge?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I got the plans to that from Randy Smith and looked at it. I looked at how many parts and pieces are in it and how small it is. I said, that thing's going to end up heavy. And I never did build it.
I had
two parts out.
2 of them. This was the first one.
Wow. I don't remember being that big.
I don't remember being that young.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Whiteley,
you know.
Whiteley built one of these and brought it to VSC too, didn't he?
He did. Yes.
That would go pretty quick, wouldn't it?
What's that?
It'd be pretty slippery. It'd go pretty quick, wouldn't it? Pretty fast.
No, I
Just
didn't
pitch it out.
any faster than normal. There's another picture of the blue one. I didn't even know this was old time legal. John Misk, who started the old time stunt thing, he called me up. He said, "You're going to come to our contest," and I said, "Well, I'll come out and judge you or something. I don't have an airplane that qualifies." He said, "Yeah, you do. Your Vico Mustang qualifies," and I didn't even know it. So I took a 10-point hit for having flaps and beat John DeTavio by about 2 points.
And what did it fly like, Bob?
It did great rounds, but you got to be real careful in squares because it was only like 34 ounces. But even at that weight with that small wing, you had to be very careful in squares. You didn't stall it. You had to steer it. You couldn't bang it.
Yeah.
It was a good airplane. A lot of fun.
What was the wingspan on that?
Gonna say
42?
maybe 48, 49 inches at the most.
Okay.
Hey, Mark Weiss has graced us with his presence. Mark, I got Mark Overmeyer's email today. He needs judges for the Nat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got it too.
Yeah, I already got a hotel room and everything. I'm ready.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Hey, Mark Gerber,
Yo,
you got any more updates on your Bearcat?
no, the Bearcat's taking some time off here.
Uh-oh.
Show us the Thunderbird.
And see if I can find it here. This is a Thunderbird that I built in 2002.
That's a good looking thunder chicken.
Yeah, you've been
And,
flying?
I crashed it a year or two after I built it, knocked the tail off of it,
Wow.
and completely rebuilt it. And I was really amazed because the Burdak dope matched perfectly. You couldn't tell it was rebuilt.
How about that?
And then I started building Hurricanes, and after that, I just let it hang in the basement. I got it out last October. I was thinking about taking it down to the Las Vegas contest, and I put Tom Lay's 46 in it that I had. I'd never had that motor in that airplane before. I'd used it in the Hurricane, and it flew really well. And then I got it home and I started looking it over, and I saw this big crack in the bottom.
Oh, geez.
There's Bob's signature on the wing. And I saw this big crack here.
Oh my.
And it runs right through the sheeting the whole way across. And also the fuselage is cracked here. And if I would put it on the stand like this and gently press on the nose and the tail with my hand, I could see this crack widen up.
So did you buff it out?
So
yeah, buff it out.
I took some CA and sealed the crack all over the place with CA as good as I could. And put some carbon fiber on top of it. And here it's got the filler on top of the dope. So I'm sanding it down now. I also decided to put a weight box in it because I was tired of taping weight on the bottom of the wing.
What's all the rest of that box for?
No, this is the wing.
Wing back.
Oh, that's the rib.
The box is just this little piece here.
Oh, okay.
But I cut out this whole panel so I could refinish it.
So that's the ribs and the spar and the trailing edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is the outboard rib.
Mark, when you repaired the wing roots and through the fuselage, did you get inside and have a look and inspect the main spar or anything?
Did I what?
Did you, before you did the repair, did you cut a hole and get inside and have a look at the main spar or anything?
Well, I couldn't look at the main spar, but see this, I cut this piece off here
Yeah.
so I could get in, and I could see the crack went all the way through. So I
But
put carbon fiber in there as well. But I don't, the spar's got to be okay because the wing's
It's
still
back
really
there beyond
stiff.
that.
And,
That's
and
right where the
bending.
landing gear sits. And you thumped the ground once and it drove that fuselage up into that soft wood.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I
okay.
think it might have been. I think it might have been fatigue from the motor
Vibrating.
vibration because the canopy on the other side started to crack loose too.
Mm.
You got to fix that next. So anyway, that's what I've been doing.
Makes you wonder if it was vibrating to hell. Something out of balance. Yeah. Nice plane. Have you got a stooge on that there in the picture on the grass there? You're flying off a stooge.
Yeah.
Good looking airplane.
This is the very field where the park ranger came and drove me off.
Oh no.
Yeah, this was a nice field. This is a park, a city park.
Yeah.
And there's a regulation that says you're not supposed to fly model airplanes in a city park at Fort Collins.
Yeah.
And I knew about it, but I pretended I didn't know about it. And
I'm flying a kite with the motor on it.
I got
They
away
let
with
you-
it
they
for
let you
3 or
smoke
4
weed in
years.
the park,
Well,
though, right?
the ranger told me you're not even allowed to fly a kite in the city park.
Really?
Yeah.
Good gracious.
But they'll let you smoke weed in the park in Colorado, right?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I've had policemen drive into the parking lot while I was flying and park and watch me
Yeah.
and then leave. And I got to be good friends with the groundskeeper. There's a building back here you can't see very well, where they've got some tractors and mowers.
Son of the Dalai Lama.
And he came driving across the field one day, and I thought, oh, I'm done. And he came over and said, that's really neat. How'd you learn how to do that? And he got to be a good friend. He even cut the grass shorter for me one time.
Nice.
But then this park ranger showed up, and he wasn't very sympathetic. So
He wasn't smoking his weed.
Yeah.
You probably kept a little bag with you to offer him like for a bribe.
Yeah, give him a good token. He probably.
He might be gone by now and you could fly again.
Yeah.
Well,
Talking about using that stooge. My stooge is my youngest.
Yeah, there you go.
I got a question for Len Burrell. I ended up down a weird YouTube hole today, and I watched you set in 2017 the Canadian endurance record.
I watched that last night.
Do you still have that record?
I still do. Yes, I do.
3 hours and 20 something minutes.
Yep. 3 hours, 28 minutes.
Wow.
I think
can't think of
Schaefer has one
anything
that's days old.
What's
so
that,
here's the
Sparky?
question. Why did you use 25% nitro?
That's a good question. I'd have to ask him. He was the mechanic. I was just the pilot. I was just the grunt.
When I heard that, I thought, well, gosh, that they're probably carrying an extra 25% fuel just because of that.
Yeah, he had
why he did
for
that.
fuel tanks, he used 3 large beer cans, and they fed the next one, which fed the next one, which fed the next one.
Did
And
you
the,
watch
the
that
overall
video?
weight of the model couldn't exceed a certain weight. That's the Canadian regulation. You're only allowed so much weight. And he was trying to save the weight. No, it was.
Well, he would get more power out of it with the finer needle setting. He ran it. He had a lean system. He could lean it and change the needle.
Yes.
He was
could.
pretty brilliant in that.
Yeah, he worked the radio while I flew the airplane, and through the whole thing, he was constantly trying to slow it down to conserve fuel. It was crazy. It was absolutely nuts.
Do you still have those little headset? With
I
the
don't
little
have it. No,
antenna.
I
that
have
you
the
open
airplane
video
here. I have the airplane here.
Oh, yeah.
He got out of the hobby. He got rid of all of his stuff, and I have the airplane.
Well, we don't
That's a
have
long time to walk circles, Lynn.
You're not kidding.
That's
You
a
know,
long time.
It was exactly a week and 2 days after that I had a heart attack.
Oh my
Oh my God.
I don't think that caused it, but yeah, it was it was just a little more than a week after that I had a heart attack.
Well, we don't have that weight thing in our rules down here for endurance. So when you become a state, I think that'll become a new record. So
I
Hey,
do.
Lynn,
I do
two
think
quick-
that Schaefer's Hobby, the club that they had out of Schaefer's Hobby, has a record that's a few days or whatever. They flew it nonstop for days. They had a 55-gallon drum of fuel with a line going out there up the control lines, and they switched off pilots for days.
True. Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say not one person,
Right.
They
Hey,
wore
Lynn.
that fox out.
but they did.
There you go.
Looky there.
That's for you, Mark.
That's the
That's
airplane
awesome.
that's in the museum.
Yes. That's cool.
Bob Palmer himself.
Yes, sir. Nice man.
Yes.
Is that a smoothie or a Thunderbird?
Thunderbird 2.
Thunderbird.
Okay. I
It's
just
just
got
like
a
the red and white one I
I just
showed
got
you
a
there.
Thunderbird kit this week, actually. I was gifted it.
A 1 or a 2?
They.
The Brodak kit. Upright motor, upright engine.
1.
That's a one.
One. Okay.
1.
Hey,
I'm
Lynn,
looking for- Yes.
got a couple of questions for you. One, it's gone now. But the other one was, have you heard or anybody heard from Bob Whitley? How's he getting on?
I have not heard. I have not heard. I don't know.
Huh.
He's
That's a
on
bit
the other
worrying.
side. He's on the other side of the country, so we don't connect much.
Yeah, but I mean, the fact that nobody's heard from him. or he
Hopefully,
hasn't-
hopefully he's doing well. I haven't heard anything negative, so I'm gonna assume he's in recovery, that he's not
Yeah.
doing too badly.
Hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
I have a little show and tell if you guys would like to see it.
Oh, sure.
I have an airplane here that I started building when I was 18 years old.
Hold on.
And
Present you.
I finished it when I was 19, and I flew it for 31 years.
Make them big, Sparky.
I'm
Well, you would think that would
trying.
be a record. I mean, 31
So
years, that's longer than that hour flight.
It's a
digger.
Sterling Fokker D7.
That sounds
And
like
in-
me getting my degree.
In 2012, I crashed this airplane really badly. And I looked at it and thought, it's pretty done. I think I'm just going to make this go away. So I put it on the burn pile, and one of the guys out there retrieved it. And I didn't know who it was. I just knew that it had been taken off the burn pile and it was gone. I never saw it again. I thought about it a few times, but never saw it again. And last week, a buddy of mine called me up and he says, you know, you're going to be kind of mad at me. I said, what am I going to be mad at you for? He says, well, I got to tell you, since 2012, I've had your Fokker D7. I said, you're kidding me. He says, no. I said, do you think I could have it back? He says, most definitely. I'm coming down to your place next week anyway. I'll put it in a box and bring it down. So he brought it back and I'm rebuilding it.
Good for you.
Good on you.
I rebuilt the lower wing. I've done all the repairs to it now. It's all been gusseted and re-glued together and put all new spars in it and so forth. This airplane's in rough shape, but I'm going to get it finished and I'm actually going to fly it again. That's the plan.
All right.
I've redone the landing gear. It's all done. It's ready for paint basically, or tissue
Have
anyway.
you got the upper wing, or do you have to build up
I've
from
got
scratch?
the upper wing. The upper wing's in 3 pieces, just like the lower wing was. So there's going to be some severe work to do on that one too.
That's great.
So I'm having a lot of fun with it anyway.
Well done.
I bet that
that's my
looks
show and
nice in
tell
the
for
air.
day. What's that?
I bet it looks nice when it's flying.
I have a picture of it actually, right here.
Looks really great when it's doing triangles.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for you, Sparky. It'll do loops, 8s, fly inverted. It does all that stuff. I don't know about how good the triangles would
You
be.
can fly in old time. Is
Yeah,
it
it's
old
quite
time
the
legal?
airplane.
And
It
what did you
served
have
me-
in it? What did you have in it, Lynn, for a donkey in those
Fox
days?
35.
Yeah.
And you know, the sound is amazing with a Fox 35 cowled in on this thing. The sound is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I really like about it. But it served me really well. I flew it for 31 years.
How
I
old
won-
were you? How old were you when you first flew it?
I was 19 when I first flew it. I was 18 when I started building it.
Very nice.
So yeah, it's quite close to me, that airplane. I'm very excited about it. I sure wasn't excited the day I crashed it. I was like, just put it on the burn pile, get rid of it. It's gone. I'm glad I was so happy that he had recovered it. I was like, wow, I was so excited. So this is definitely by far my oldest airplane.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Very neat, Lynn.
Thank you.
Well, Len, I got a surprise for you.
Uh-oh. Hope it's a good one.
I'm going to bring back your first wife.
No, you're not. That's not a surprise. Mark, that's just downright mean. That is.
That's cruel and unusual right there.
I don't even know how to answer that. My God. Boy, oh boy. I was having a good time till you said that.
The time to move, huh?
Wow, I'm moving. Hope Mark doesn't know where I live. Yeah, don't send her here.
No, I like Naomi too much.
For sure. Yeah, me too. Me too, Mark.
Has Naomi been doing any flying, Lynn?
What's that?
Has Naomi been doing any building or flying?
She got a flight in last week. We're still flying every day. I haven't missed a day yet. I'm at 138 days right now.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
You're joking.
No, I've flown every day for 138 days. A lot of
Good
days
Lord.
it's just a half A, but I get out and fly every day.
Good for
Naomi
you.
launches every day.
Wow.
We go out
And are
every
you
day.
out to break a record of some kind, or are you just doing it for your own?
Well, my Canadian record for endurance is 3 hours and 28 minutes. So now what I'm planning to do is fly every day for 3 years and 28 days.
Ah,
I want to fly
Wow.
every single day.
You're
I think you
nuts.
should have done 328 days.
I'm going to make. Go ahead, Bob.
Every night you forget how to do it, so the next day you had to learn again, right?
That's right. Today I had trouble. Today I had trouble. It was cold here and the half A wouldn't start. I had to get out the backup today, but we got it done.
Wow.
I've flown once in 3 years.
That's great.
That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I've had,
Yeah. I hope
like I
you're
say,
feeling better.
I had shoulder surgery and was out 3 months for that, and just kind of fell off. Life got in the way, you know.
Yeah, it does. Life can do that. I went a number of years without flying.
That's all right.
I did too.
Proud of you, Len.
Thank you. I'm having fun.
You-
It's all about
You're
having
doing
fun.
well, sir. You're
have
doing
you
well,
worked out
sir.
how much distance you'll fly at the end of 3 years and whatever? Have you worked out the
A
distance?
lot of days in the winter, it's going to be only one flight unless Naomi wants a flight. So usually what we do is I take a flight. I ask her if she wants one. The odd day she'll fly one, even in the winter, but the rest of the time it's just a one flight day and we're back in the house.
What do
We
you
go out
do
to
on
the-
the days it's raining or snowing?
Doesn't matter. We fly in it. The airplane, a half A will fly in rain, wind, snow. It'll fly in anything. Doesn't matter. We fly it
Short
in.
lines and whip it, baby, whip it.
Yeah, we're flying on 25 or 30-foot lines every day. Same thing. And if it's
Wow.
windy, you just run a little faster. That's all. Keep it out there. It's got to go
Good
5
gracious.
laps. It has to go 5 laps to make it an official flight.
What do you fly?
Just a little half A ringmaster.
Oh, ringmaster. Okay.
But I mean, in the summer, obviously, I'm flying big stuff most days. I go out to the bean field and fly real airplanes. But in the winter, we just go out in the backyard and go into the cemetery behind the house, get a flight, and come right back in.
Gas
None
it
of
up
the
in the house and have it warm.
Yeah, none of the people out there complain ever.
No,
What
No.
about the
They're peaceable
residents
people.
in the cemetery?
What about the people in the cemetery?
Yeah, what about the residents? Don't they complain?
No, that's what I said. They never complain ever.
Oh, right.
And the guys who work out there, I think they just think I'm nuts. That's all. But I make
Don't-
sure that if there's something going on out there, obviously I don't go out and fly. I go somewhere.
come
I'm not
on.
going to go. I don't go out there if there's a service or something going
It
on.
won't be long in the wintertime. The service will be over.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
Yeah, anybody who's out there in the last few weeks, they aren't staying out
They aren't
there
staying
long.
about 5 minutes. It'll be short and sweet and
Yeah,
hard
the
to
way
beat.
they
We're out
go,
of
they
here.
hop in their car and away they go, and then I go out and do my thing.
Had it in the house and warmed up and unroll the lines as you walk out.
Right.
So Len,
Yeah.
people are dying to see you fly, huh?
You know it, baby.
Ooh,
And-
yes. Boo, yes.
Oh,
Len,
boy.
You've got a new record, Len. You're the only guy that's flown control line in the dead center of town.
Oh, yeah, the dead center.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
boo, yes. Golly, y'all are bad tonight.
And people say control line's dead. Come on. Give your heads a shake.
Man,
Not yet.
man alive.
We're not gonna let it die, are we?
At least that way you have a lot of qualified judges watching you.
But they don't have opinions. That's the best kind of judges, maybe.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Judges always watch with a critical eye.
Yes,
Occasionally
they do.
use both eyes, but it's rare.
Yeah.
Judges have a hard job, I think.
They have an incredibly hard job.
Bob, how many eyes do you use?
Isn't it great the jokes you can tell when you're no longer flying competitively?
Hey, when I'm judging, anybody who ever complains, it's always the same answer. Chair's right here. I can fly and you can judge.
That's it.
You know, I don't like people who complain about the judging because it's always the same attitude with me. If you don't like the judging, the chair's right here. I've never had
Yeah.
anybody take me up on it yet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, like if
That's
it's
it.
the end of the first round and somebody comes up to me, I think you're chair's right here.
You know,
I'll
if you're
fly
a
your
bad,
second flight and you can judge.
thing about it though, is if you're a bad judge and you're consistently bad, then everybody's getting the same points.
That's right.
When you're bad on one person and good on the other, then that's where it comes into a
That's
problem.
that's
Hey,
where
and
I
if you're-
used to.
But if you
And it-
consistently suck at it, then everybody's getting bad points.
Hey, but if you're a bad
as long as
judge,
you're
if you're a
as long
bad
as you're
judge
low,
and
you're-
nobody else is willing to judge, I guess that's the best you're gonna get today.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah.
The real truth is your job's to fly. His job's to judge.
That's right.
You do yours and let him do his.
Yeah. And like
Yep.
Joe always says, if you don't like the judging, what is it, Joe? Say
Fly better.
it. Right on. Fly better.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Joe knows it like no other, and I use his line constantly. If you don't like the judging, fly better.
Well,
That's
at
it.
least we don't have NFL referees judging us.
No,
Yeah.
Man,
Woo.
that'd be rough. Boy, I tell you.
There have been times I wish I had instant replay though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you, I think it's gonna. A lot of the guys are looking forward to it, and I don't think we'll ever get it. But I think it would be interesting if we ever did have a contest where you go to a contest and you put this little thing in your wing and fly, and the computer judges you. That'd be wicked.
I think there's going to be a rude awakening when that happens.
Be a lot of
Oh, I
naked.
do too. Do what, Bob?
AI
Actually, that can be done right now. Dean Pappas, who's an electronic wizard, you know, he
Yeah.
works in electronic. He said we can do that right now. He said you can put it's like inertial. You can put a little thing in on the CG of the airplane, and it will record everything the airplane does. And then you can put it in the computer and flat map it out, and it'll give you a percentage of or percentage off perfection.
I love it.
Well, they've already got that with that tracking software.
Then some kid with a clear dope voodoo is going to be winning everything.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't they already have that with that tracking software?
No, that's a different thing. But that could do it too. You could actually get the tracking software to give you a percentage of or percentage off perfection. But is that what we really want? I think
No,
no, it's not what we really want.
not what I want.
It would be good for coaching and training, but I don't
For
think
practice, yeah, for practice, yeah, absolutely, but not for competition. It's like here when we play rugby, you know, New Zealand's pretty good at the rugby thing, and we have these judges that sit up in the stand and they get in touch with the referee and they say, no, that wasn't a try, and the crowd boos and they go back and they rewind and they analyze the tape over and over and over again. And they just bugger the game up, to be honest.
Sounds like our NFL.
Yep. Take all the fun out of it. The referee's right, even if he's wrong. He's right.
The judges are always right.
Those guys go out and play rugby as football with no pads, no headgear, and no protection whatsoever. Those people crazy.
Yeah,
they just plain crazy.
The problem with American football is there's too much money involved, and the owners are afraid their players are going to get hurt. So they make up these gay rules that you can't touch nobody without getting a penalty. Play football, shit. You know what you're getting into.
Eddie, I'd agree with you, but I've seen too many of these guys that come off the field with concussions.
The humans are too big to let them play like they used to play. You get a guy 270 pounds running a 4.40. They can't hit head on no more, guys. It's over. They're too fast and too big.
They'll kill somebody.
We don't want to see anybody get hurt that bad. No way, or get killed. It's not worth it. Like, who wants to see somebody get killed? Exactly.
That helmet to helmet crap. There's a good reason for that.
That's right.
We've had at least three. We've had at least three pro football players that retired, and one of them had a television show, and they end up committing suicide because they just can't take the headaches and the problems that come later from having had too many head injuries.
So we'll do camp of presidents.
Yep. Hey, Mark, that's why nobody else wants it.
Well said, Mark. Well said.
New rules, guys. We can no longer beat Mark over the head. Nobody can hit Mark in the head anymore.
I've never hit him in the head yet. Not going to start.
I ain't about to start. I agree with you, but boy,
that's wrong. That's what's wrong with me. I must have played too much rugby in my earlier days without a helmet.
Man,
that'll learn you.
I had a guy that worked for me that literally had been a quarterback, and he got a chance to go to the NFL.
NFL. He had
NFL.
Head injuries.
He got a chance to go to the NFL, and he made it as far as practice teams. He was supposed to be a starter, and got hurt bad. And I'm telling you, you literally some days you wondered what was the matter with him. Did you leave your head at home?
Yes, is the answer.
And he honestly, he was doing the best he could. Some
That's
days
right.
he could think and do like he's supposed to, and other days he just could not function. And
I just
it
want to
just
know
really made me sick for the guy because he was a great guy, but sometimes he'd have you about to pull your dang hair out.
I want to know how many rugby players get to go out with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, really.
Rugby players. What was that?
Hey,
Robert? Say again?
I wonder how many rugby players get to date Taylor Swift.
No.
Yeah, they announced today they're going back to the Super Bowl, by the way.
To think to him, he doesn't know about that. Taylor Swift is going out with Travis Kelce, the tight end from the Kansas City Chiefs. She's dating him. You don't know.
You mean the Kansas City indigenous people, don't you?
Never mind.
Yeah, he doesn't even know who Taylor Swift is.
That's okay.
Yeah, we know. Isn't she the Canadian singer or something?
She's not Canadian. She's American.
She's not a singer either.
Not a singer either. Yeah.
She's got $1 billion, doesn't she?
I don't know.
She probably does. She probably
Whether
does. Many
she
of them
can
do.
sing
She
or
probably
not,
does.
Well, what they
money.
say is the NFL
Jack
likes Taylor Swift is smart because they show her at the football games, so more people get interested in football, and then they go out and play football and get head injuries, and you have more Swifties.
And she has listeners too.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
You still fiddling with that tail feathers, Paul?
What's that?
You've been still standing on those tail feathers?
Oh, I'm just getting them ready to monocoat. I'm just smoothing them out a little bit and getting the little bumples out of them.
You got any pictures of Claire Sieverling's Mustang that Dick Carville's building?
He won't let me post anything. He said he doesn't want to show anything till he gets it done. So we did have Jim Barry. I don't know if you know Jim.
Sure.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. He came down and spent a day or two with Dick and I think Dick gave him the original P-51 that he built, and Jim crashed it and he felt bad about it, but he cut the tail off of it and then made a nice little plaque. And anyway, he gave that to him.
I flew that airplane.
I did too.
Dick's airplane?
It makes a good plaque.
Jim was an what was he? Eagle pilot, F-15 Eagle pilot.
Yeah, F-16s. He
was the airline pilot too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I asked him which. He said
Sparky's got a plaque of his Thunderbolt, I think.
P-47, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Sparky.
Yeah, that Mustang he had more trim problems than any of us could figure out in a lifetime.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
But you still have the molds? You still have the molds for the top of your P-47?
You bet.
I'll talk to you about that.
I'll sell them to you because I ain't gonna build no more of them.
Hey, Paul, do you know what that Sieverling Mustang was derived from?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
Before that, he published a model airplane news called the Phoenician.
I know that airplane.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And the Mustang was nothing more than a Phoenician with a scoop on it and a different bubble canopy and shape.
I'll be darned.
Other shaped like a Mustang.
They've had them. They've been at Tucson with Phoenicians, several people over the years.
Anderson had one. It flew really good.
Ray Firkins built one, but he crashed it at VSC in a high wind.
Man, they've had some winds there. I thought I'd flown in a lot of wind at Hobby Park. My first trip to Tucson. Goodness, I've never seen anything like that.
It can be really nice and it can be really bad.
Yes, it can. And what we do, we're out there rooting for that wind.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how to fly in it.
That airplane I had, it was a magical airplane in the wind. By the way, Claire Sieverling passed away just recently.
He did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Corresponding with him off and on. Nice man. Nice man. He had a number of airplanes published. The Conquistador. Remember that one?
I remember that. I didn't know it was his.
Mm-hmm. And he had a thing called the Crusader that was in 59. It was in the same issue with Charlie Licklider's Ballerina and Larry Scarinzi's Werewolf.
Was that an Ares looking airplane?
No, it kind of was like a Vico Brave looking kind of thing.
Okay. I've seen them somewhere, probably at Tucson.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
He had a lot of airplanes. You know, he was a nice guy. Nice guy.
Remember was there a guy named Dick Williams made the team and he flew Electra? Was that the right airplane?
The Electra.
Electra. That was a pretty airplane. Firkins had one of those too one time.
He didn't fly it at the Worlds. You know why?
No, I do not.
Because he had two of them. Both were stolen on the way over there.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
And he flew Jim Sulhavy's backup airplane, which was a Cadrone.
Is that right?
How about that?
He was a team member for at least once, if not twice.
That Cadrone, I'll find it.
Bart Kopinski's airplane, the Tempest, that he won the Nats with, it was built after the Electra.
They were buddies, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does
It's got the same wing.
There was another
same
guy.
wing, but a much different shaped fuselage.
In 204, there was another guy that crashed a Tempest. I'll think of his name in a minute. Steve. No, that's not right. Oh man, it's on the tip of my tongue. There were several nice airplanes lost that morning.
Yeah, that was a pretty airplane.
Does the AMA cover theft on their insurance?
How many of those people can you identify?
4.
Billy Warbridge has got the Aries in his hand. Rondell Manali is in the middle. Bob Gialdini. The guy on the left is Lou, the Gieske, the gypsy guy.
It's not an Aries. It's a Super Aries.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob.
It says
Billy's
Aries
on the
right
Super
on.
Aries.
Okay, left to
It
right.
says an Aries.
Anybody gets them left to right? Absolutely correct.
Yep, I can't. I don't know the second one.
Photograph copy of the How to Build I-beam Wings video.
I can't. I don't know the red airplane or the guy on the bottom with the looks like some kind of tucker. I don't know what that is.
Anybody on the far left?
Far left is the gypsy guy.
Yep, it's Jim Silhavy holding.
Jim Silhavy, yeah.
And that's the Cadrone that Dick Williams flew at the World Championships. I think it was in '64 or '60.
Who's holding it?
Jim Silhavy.
I thought Jim. Okay, Jim's got the blue airplane that you're talking about. Okay.
Yep. Who's next with the yellow airplane?
Is that a firecracker?
Yep.
Is the far right one Dennis Adamission?
The Folkerts, yeah. But you know the guy's name?
No.
That's John Hobble.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
I don't know him either.
And who's the guy next to him?
To the left or right?
To his right. To his left.
The big guy's Rondell Montanelli or whatever his name is.
Nelly, and before that is Gialdini with the
Bob Gialdini.
Yes, Bob Gialdini,
Right.
And then Billy.
This was taken at the '63 Nationals, and that's what he won. He won with that Stingray.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And the next year, Mario Rondinelli flew that Venus in '64 in Dallas and took second to Silhavy, and Scorinzi was third.
I'll be darned.
Now, who's the guy holding the dark blue Aries?
Is it Dennis Adamission?
Nope.
Who's the guy that got killed?
He gets this one. I'll give him one of my twins.
Buzzy Zeller.
Oh, that's Buddy Wieters, who that is.
Not Buddy. He looks like him, though.
Looks like Buddy.
No. No one's going to guess this.
That's not the big guy. Joe Constantine.
Nope.
Luciano?
Nope.
I
Luciano was like 3 years old here at this point, you know.
Yeah.
That's Ed Kemmerer.
I do not know that name. I don't know him.
And that airplane is the '62 Aries, which Billy built because he was going to. I take it back. That's not the '62 Aries. That's a '59 Aries. But at that contest, Billy was talking with Hy Johnson about developing a new stunt engine that had more power than the Fox. And then he subsequently built a bigger Aries called the '62 Aries, which he never used in competition because Hy Johnson never came through with the engine, and Billy thought the Fox wasn't enough motor for it. So he gave it to Eddie Kammerer, and Kammerer flew it for a while.
I'll be darned.
Mm-hmm. And the guy kneeling on the right?
Do not know.
That's Jerry Cipra.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Do not know him.
Only 3 people who ever won the Walker Trophy as a junior.
Him and Dennis.
Dennis won it as a junior.
I think he's a junior.
So did Davey Slagle.
Davey Slagle, yep.
Was the Super Aries ever kitted?
No. But there are plans for it.
What engine did he use in that? Did he use a McCoy 40 or something?
Well, he used a K&B 45.
K&B 45?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now
that Super Aries
that the airplane that Jerry Cipra is holding on the lower right is the exact same airplane as the yellow airplane on the left.
Looks like it's got different flaps.
No, it's just one's deflected more than the other.
One's
It's the same airplane, just painted different.
I'll be darned.
Those are both firecrackers. Huh.
Yeah, Folkerts. Yep. Pretty good photo, huh?
Great photo. Great photo.
It is.
Where's the photo from, Bob?
What's that?
Where was the photo taken?
It was taken in Los Alamitos, a motel at Los Alamitos, California, during the '63 Nationals.
I'll be darned. Outstanding.
Yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
How in the world did y'all manage to travel that far back then? The highways were poop.
Yep.
did what they had to do. They wanted to go fly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Billy took second at that national.
So Billy didn't fly the 62 Aries wasn't flown, at least not much, until the last few years when they come out with a big motor that would pull it, huh?
Well, he decided when the Aero Tiger 36 came out, he said, I'm going to build that airplane. That green one he used to use at VSC. That was a 62 Aries.
Yeah, I have one hanging downstairs.
Well,
It's a beautiful. I haven't finished mine yet, but it's built and painted. It's just not cleared. It's not painted. It's got clear on it.
Steve used to talk about classic airplanes. That Super Aries with any modern engine in it would be a killer airplane in just about any event.
Jim Lynch had a nice one.
Yes, sir.
Did.
You put a
I saw
PA-40
that one.
light in that and run it pretty hard, it'd be a great airplane.
Yep. All right, let's see. Here you go.
PA-40 light in what airplane?
Super Aries. That's what Jim had in it.
That's the one that shook apart.
Yep.
Which one?
What was different between
The
the
white
original
one.
Aries
Okay.
and the Super Aries?
The white one is beautiful, but it shook apart. I don't remember what happened, but it shook all
I know
to pieces.
exactly what happened because I was holding it when it shook apart. He had a Fox in it or something, and he wanted to put an Aero Tiger in it. He got a hold of one at VSC, but when he put it in, the nose would all the hardware wouldn't match up, so he had to put a washer between the back of the prop and the thrust washer. When he started it, it let go, and it started into a shaft run, and we couldn't get it to shut off, and it just splintered it to pieces.
Who's holding that?
I was holding. Oh, that's Jim Tickey.
Jim Tickey. Okay.
He died.
I didn't know
Jim
him.
Tickey. Is that the same Jim Tickey did the Colossus?
He did a Colossus. He had a Mustang. He had a number of really pretty airplanes. I think he had a Trivial Pursuit. Really good guy.
What year was that right there? Your best guess, Bob?
Looks
Looks like the pavement got redone, like in maybe 7 or 8.
10 maybe.
10, yeah.
8 or 10, someplace in there.
I've seen those airplanes there, but I didn't know. I don't know Tickey. I never met him.
Yeah.
Billy brought that green one to VSC a number of times.
Number of times.
He won, I think, 3 with that airplane.
Is that a 62?
Those are both 62s.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
What was the difference between the Aries, the original Aries, and the Super Aries? What just offhand? What was
size?
The Super Aries was quite a bit larger, much longer nose and tail, and just a whole different airplane, actually.
If you look
Well,
at a
that
Super
Aries has a
what's
straight trailing edge, looks like.
Thank
Did the 59 Aries have a tapered trailing edge? I thought it did.
Yes, it did.
That one has a swept forward trailing edge. It's just not very much.
It doesn't look like it. Okay.
Yeah, it's about half an inch to 3/4 of an inch.
Okay.
If you look at a Super Aries, you're going to think Super Tiger 46.
That's right.
If you look at that Aries, you're going to think Fox 35.
Or today,
Quite a bit of difference in size.
on one of those Merlins in it, the PA4R ultralight Merlin.
Yes.
He had more nicknames than Apollo Creed and Rocky IV.
I've got one of those darn motors, brand new with manifold and pipe. I never even had it out of the box.
I got one too.
I don't think I have any good pictures of it. Other pictures of a Super Aries, unfortunately.
Yeah, I bought mine when Mr. Hunt showed up with the Genesis with one in it. It ran so sweet, I went and ordered one.
What with the Merlin?
Yeah, the 40.
Yeah,
40 light.
Before that, I had that Roadjet 40 rear exhaust in it, and that thing just wouldn't run at all. And then that airplane was converted to electric and had 3 different electric systems in it. So it had 5 systems altogether in that airplane.
I'll be darned.
5 complete rebuilds of the nose. Unbelievable.
I like the pictures.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any of the Super Aries other than that one I just showed you. He had a real pretty red one. Real pretty red one.
I think the Super is what Jim Lynch had at Baton Rouge, and he picked the handle up upside down, and
Is it
he
orange
gave
and
it up
blue?
to take off, and he ran the whole tank out against the ground and shortened the prop a good bit years ago.
I think that might have been his Humbler, Joe.
Well, you sure?
No.
Because Humbler wouldn't have got the prop. It had a nose wheel on it.
What
Well,
color
he-
was it, Joe?
Huh?
What color was the airplane?
I don't remember.
It
I think
was
it was
a-
white and red and blue.
Yeah, that's.
No, the Super Aries was kind of a blue. It was almost painted like that one that Bob showed a while ago.
I think Jim's was blue, orange, and white.
Could have been.
No, that
I
he
thought
had
it was white.
orange and white. He
He
had
had
two Geos. He had two Geo XLs. He
Okay.
liked anything Billy built. He had two Geos and he had two Aries, and that blue one he gave to one of our club members.
Okay.
Later life, he flew volunteers a lot.
Yeah, he had
Yes.
built two Volunteers.
Mm-hmm. That was his design, I think, wasn't it?
It was. Yep.
He was a good dude.
Yeah, I miss Jimmy.
Whose is that?
He was awesome.
Where would just Vulcan?
That's where we just okay.
Look at how much forward is in that wing.
That's more. That's what I thought. That's what I remembered the Aries looked like.
Every time Billy flew that thing at VSC, he won with it.
Yep.
That's pretty right
Two
there.
different motors.
Had a Tiger 46 at first, and then he put the Aero Tiger
That's
in.
an Aero Tiger probably there with that prop on it, I
With
bet.
the Aero Tiger.
Must be Aerogloss dope.
Yeah. Got a picture of him holding it here someplace.
Billy still used Aerogloss dope?
I think so.
Gracious. He
Where'd
must
he
have
get
bought a
it?
bunch of it then.
I got some. I just don't have any thinner.
I've got a bottle of it downstairs, but just one bottle.
I got there's
Billy looks serious there.
There's 6 bottles here, but it's still good.
That boy right there is a competitor.
He sure was.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
He said he's done flying. I talked to him the other day.
Who's this, Bill?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That airplane had a lot of flights on it. Probably a couple of thousand.
You guys remember Tester's dope in the square jars, the old Tester's dope?
Sure.
Yeah.
That's all I could get at the hobby shop.
What can I put over top of that that'll adhere?
Talking about like that? Like that, man?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find if anybody knows.
Isn't
Yeah,
it
like that.
Gasoline.
Is it butyrate or is it nitrate?
It's
Does it
butyrate
say on
because
the
it's fuel
jar?
proof.
It says here that doesn't say, it just says
What's in it?
methyl cellulose, ethanol, acetate, and isobutanol.
Anything will go over that, but don't put that over anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just
Thank
says
you.
hot fuel proof.
Yeah, that's the same, pretty much the same chemicals that are in Aerogloss.
Okay. So anything will go over it, but don't put it over anything. I
Yeah,
can't get it. I haven't had any in 30 years. But this,
Make sure you use, put a lot of tooth on it. Don't just think that
yeah,
you're
I'll rough it. I'll rough
Yeah.
it up real good, and then what I'll probably use is Brodak dope. I'll just use Fokker Red right over top of it.
Now I know everybody loves Brodak, whatever. Why are you still using that stuff? It has 50% less pigment in it than Randolph.
I can get Randolph. I can get
There you go.
Randolph's.
Use
Okay.
Randolph.
It's available here. I just got to go to Aircraft Spruce and get it.
Yeah.
And you have to buy a
No
whole quart
problem.
too.
Yeah, a quart goes fine. I can use a quart.
Buy it by the gallon. It's cheaper. Of course, I don't know about Canada. $80 a gallon here in the States
Yeah.
for clear.
I need to refinance my house if I go a gallon here.
There's only one hobby: spending money.
Yeah, I know. I'm good at it. I
I
don't
think it's
save
about
it.
$130 for red.
Make that big, Sparky.
There
I
you go.
started saying I just bought
Yeah,
some
what's it
color.
say
and
on the
it's-
back?
The back's blank.
What's it say? It
On
doesn't
the
have
front,
any.
it says testers dope clear.
That looks like a bottle of
Cool.
Fireball.
Caution.
It looks like
inflammable
yellow.
mixture. Do not use near fire or flame.
Yeah, that's a bottle of Fireball. He
Also
just
says
did
don't
it,
use
didn't
near
it?
model
Oh,
air
isn't that something?
Open
Wow.
it up and smell it. It should smell like Aerogloss.
Don't open it.
Here's
You'll never.
Aerogloss.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Aerogloss.
they should
This-
smell the same.
This works good. I used 6 or 7 bottles this year probably. I can't open it, Sparky. Can't open it.
Give it here. I'll open it.
I thought that I got another one out there. Must have the other one says nitrate on it.
Now you don't want to use that.
This one doesn't say nitrate. I've never used this. This was at some flea market and I bought the whole box of it. I think there's 12 jars. And the
Yeah,
other one out in the garage is open. You opened it, smell it. It's different smelling.
Yeah, the stuff I used was like the stuff Eddie had there with the square jars, the old square testers jars.
It
Now
should
that right
smell
there,
like Aerogloss.
this is memories right here.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff right there.
Hey, Sparky,
Hey, what?
I got a good picture for you. One you're gonna like.
Okay.
I don't even know about this.
Hold on a second. I gotta get.
Oh man, look at that.
Wow, nice airplane.
Now, who is that?
Yeah.
Martin.
don't know, but I
Absolutely
want-
no idea.
I don't know who it is, but I want his airplane.
Norm Whittle.
That's
Wow.
Norm
That's
Whittle.
Norm?
Is that right?
Good
I've
gracious.
never met him.
That's the Playboy. That is the original Monado Continental. Tom Warden bought that airplane from Norm so that he could design the Continental. He liked the lines on it.
It's beautiful.
Norm Whittle.
What's
That's
he call
gorgeous.
that one? Can you read it?
Playboy.
That's a Playboy. It doesn't look like
Yeah.
P.
Doesn't look like a P to me either.
Roger Barrett, not Roger Barrett, Roger Wildman had one.
Uh-huh. There's been a couple of those to Tucson.
Yeah,
Wait,
Did,
now,
know
leave
what
it
it is.
up.
Condon have one of those out there one time?
Clay had one too.
There's been several of them out there, I think.
Hey,
That'd
Joe.
be about 1969 or 70 in there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, someplace in there.
Hey, Joe.
Yes.
Look at that writing clearly. It does say Playboy.
Oh, it probably does. I just couldn't
Yeah,
read
it does. I looked at it a little clear, a
zoomed
little
it.
closer.
What, that picture?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it says Playboy on the wing.
It says Playboy.
Of course, the
Yeah,
last
it
time
does.
I saw Norm, he didn't look like that.
I have a kit to that downstairs, but I sure didn't know it looked like that. That's beautiful.
Sharp. That's a
Yeah.
sharp looking model.
Nice airplane. And you could tell he dinged the stabilizer because they put an AMA decal over it.
Well, it's got the lead outs are above and under, over and under,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they are.
Oh wow.
They are. They come out way up on the tip too, and way up under the tip.
Ooh,
Isn't that nice?
cool plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Sir.
I believe it had a McCoy 40 in it.
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I
That's
got to
what
tell you, this is an orange can of Aerogloss. I got some more quartz down there. Red label. The red label and the orange label don't smell the same.
This
But-
red label smells like what I remember when I was a little kid.
Right. This here is not as powerful. Let's see here. Contains toluene methyl ethyl ketone. And then it just says keep. So I can use MEK to thin this. Okay.
I didn't know we were going to have a smelling event tonight. It's pretty interesting.
Smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I can't even compete in this one because I can't.
I don't know
smell.
what this word is.
Sparky's invented something new.
I think I'll go downstairs and see what I can pull out.
Leave it to Sparky.
Bring out some Ambroid.
I don't have any of that stuff.
TALUAL.
Any of you guys?
Do what?
Toyol?
That's Tulane or Toluenol or whatever.
Toluene.
I used
The
Ambroid
Toluenol.
once.
It should have MEK on it too. Methyl ethyl ketone.
It does say, it says intentional misuse by deliberately inhaling the contents may be harmful or fatal.
Yeah. Glue your last brain cell together.
There's
Sure
Joe
does
opening
smell
the
good.
jars and smelling them. Perfect.
I'm
This
shaking
smells like
this
it was
up
when
in
I was a little
camera,
kid.
so that's
We'll wonder why we're strange.
Well,
Yeah.
we're strange, all right.
It didn't hurt me any over the years.
People wonder
Boy.
why we're strange.
Yeah, the smell of the hobby shop though was Ambroid. I think Ambroid smells worse than
Oh, yeah, so I remember my mother's reaction to Ambroid. That was the last time I ever saw a tube of that stuff.
There, Jimmy.
There
Yeah,
it
there you go.
There he is.
There he is.
That's one of his Aries right there.
That's it. That's got the white middle on it.
Yeah, the other
I
one was
thought he
the
had
one
a
I
red,
saw
but it
was
may
the
not
other
been.
one.
I thought it was red, but it may have been that one.
No, he had a red one too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had two Aries and two GOs.
Wow.
Solon, Ohio.
What an awesome guy.
Yes,
He
sir.
was that.
His wife is a good woman too.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Mama Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great.
I got some good stories about them too. They're good people.
For
They were
sure.
some really good people. Whatever happened to all his stuff?
Lou Rankin, he had a silent auction. He posted it on Stunt Hangar, and then they took it out to the club field, and I don't know who wound up getting what. But yeah, I think they auctioned everything off. Lou still may have some of his stuff. I don't know. You can contact him.
I've never talked to Lou that I know of. So
At one time, Billy had his Bearcat. Do you still have that
Yeah.
Bearcat of his?
yeah,
At one time, Billy had his Bearcat.
Right.
that's the
That's the
Humbler
Humbler
right
right
there.
there.
Yeah,
That's the Humbler.
Yeah, that's the one I think he did the field prop testing on in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
It was the Humbler,
Tell
right?
you what,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, that was a pretty airplane. That thing's got a Tom Lay Tiger 60 in it, and it really, that was awesome. He flew it
Yeah.
at Brodak a few years ago, and it was just awesome.
Yeah. I put a picture, or I don't know, I had a video of him flying. I put it up on YouTube, and somebody left it. I said, here's, how did I put it? Here's Humble Jim flying his Humbler. And somebody left a comment, and they're like, that's not his plane. That's a Lou McFarland Shark. No, no, no. They were just reaming me out. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
You know what John Wayne would have said, don't you?
What's that?
Life's tough. It's tough if you're stupid.
It's even tougher if you're stupid. That's right.
Yeah.
What do you think the original Shark 45 was? The Humbler.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, don't
Yeah,
I
Charlie
know.
Reeves got me a set of. I told him I wanted to build a Shark, but I was just having some problems with the whole idea. He asked me if I was going to Tifton that year. I said, yes, sir, I'll be there. Tommy and I are going. He knocked on our door. We hadn't been there long, still unpacking, and Charlie knocked on the door and walked in and started unfolding a set of plans across the foot of the bed. Humbler. Said, now you got a set of plans to the original. That's what it originally looked like. I came home and compared it to the Shark 45. I just put the Shark back in the box, built the Humbler.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not that much difference, but it's enough that, oh, look at this.
Where'd
I
you
know
get
that
that?
guy.
Huh?
Where is that?
That's El Dorado. That's in
Mike's shop?
oh, where'd we go eat that night at
Yeah, Mike Makepeace's shop.
was it Mike or was it Norm? I think it was Norm's, wasn't it?
Was it? No, I never been to Norm's.
Okay, well maybe it was
It's in
Mike's. Yeah,
Mike's.
maybe it was Mike's.
Green plane in the background.
I'll be darned. Sanding
Yeah.
on a propeller or something looks like.
Now, was that, or were you had those little making those little maple planes?
Could be. I probably made hundreds. I've made hundreds of those over the years.
You need to sell plans for them.
Oh, look at that.
There you go.
The volunteer.
That's the volunteer.
There it
right
is.
there. That's an old picture. Look at the airplane behind it.
Oh yeah,
That's from a
That's the
long
original.
time ago.
that's the original right there. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Sure enough.
I think that was at the 74 Nationals
Wow.
that year.
in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Pretty sharp.
Who won that year?
Look
I
at
bet
that
you
reel
knows.
on the ground.
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah,
there's
Charlie
probably,
Reeves and Jim both still use reels like that.
I bet
Last
there's
time I
10
flew
of
with
them in D Hill stuff. I bet there's 10 of them outside. In the hangar, I got 10 reels like that.
Yeah.
D Hill had stuff.
There's the Geo. That thing
Yeah.
was beautiful.
He had two of
That's
them.
the
He had
one
this
he had.
one, and he had
That's
another
the one.
called- Go ahead.
No, he had torn the outboard wing off that thing when he was building it, and he showed it to me at the Nationals. He said, "Show me where it was broke." I looked at that thing for 10 minutes. I never did find any sign of a damage.
I think that was the other one.
It
They're
may have
almost
been, but
painted.
one of
They're
them.
almost painted identical, but it was called Rhythm.
Perfect Rhythm.
Yeah, Perfect Rhythm. Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah, Perfect Rhythm's the one I looked at. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, guys, I think I might hit the road.
Will you try to stay out of trouble?
Too late for that.
An honest man, he'll admit it.
Was it lunchtime there?
Lunchtime.
Good
Is that
night,
lunch?
Jonathan.
Yeah, is it lunchtime there?
No, it's 4:30 approximately.
Oh, okay.
Almost
Not as
dinner
far off.
time.
It's 10:30 here,
Yeah.
but at night.
Well, I got 9:30 here.
Is it yesterday or
you're-
tomorrow?
You're west of me.
Yes,
Yesterday or
it's
tomorrow.
tomorrow to you guys. It's Tuesday here.
Oh Lord, no.
4:20 in the afternoon. 4:20 in the
No, I gotta
afternoon.
have my sleep.
I still have to sleep to get to that.
Oh, look
I
at that. That's
recognize
Oh, look
that.
at there.
Nobler.
That's Geesky. That's the
That's
original
the
one.
Geesky
right
that
there.
Charlie and
That's the real
Jim
deal.
rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
That's what inspired me to build one.
That's what
Yeah.
inspired me to build one. I got one downstairs now.
I was at
Where's
Tucson
it?
one
Where's yours
time.
at, Phil?
I'm fitting the cow. The what?
You're fitting the cowl on yours?
Yeah, I'm fitting the cow.
How are you for weight?
I don't know. I never weigh it until it's all together and ready to go. It's
Okay.
going to have an OS 46 LA in it.
Holy mackerel.
That's a big motor.
That's a lot of motor for that little.
That's a lot of motor.
It was not my
There you go.
choice. That's Jim's. Yeah, that's Jim's.
Nice.
I haven't seen that thing in
Good bear
20 years.
cat.
That was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's his Bearcat.
Where
That's
does
beautiful.
P-47 go?
I don't know, but that's a neat airplane too.
He took
That's another.
6 with that airplane at the 76 Nationals.
Yeah.
Tiny.
His P-47 was
Well-
another Al Raby design, the P-47. And the interesting thing about that, he said Al Raby himself was going to launch for him and put his thumb through the fuselage.
Sounds like sabotage.
No, Al Raby would not have sabotaged his own design. No. No. He says sometimes, I asked Jim about that. He says sometimes stuff happens. Jim wouldn't say shit. Jim would say stuff, but sometimes stuff happens. But he was just a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever pick up his FW-190? I saw him fly that thing at the Nationals.
Never did.
It was a
design.
Cheeks design, little bitty, thin wing. And he flew that thing and it looked like something Bob would have flown. I mean, it just bang. I went over and picked that thing up. I gave myself a hernia.
I got
it
a question
was not light.
Sparky, you and Bob, all these
had the yellow bottom. Had the yellow bottom on it.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah.
With
that
the
thing
guys
was
that
not
designed
light.
planes and build them, what have y'all found to be the optimal wing width?
Light as possible.
Width, not weight.
I
Yeah,
like 11 and a half.
the thickness. I mean, I like to say you got a what is it? The God, I can't think of nothing.
Dobler.
No, the big plane that Charles was built.
The SV-11?
Huh?
Strega.
The SV-11?
The Strega. You know, it's got like
Strega.
what, a 2.5 inch wing, a thick wing.
3 inch.
Three
3 inch thick.
3 inches. That's ridiculous.
So
That's pattern.
what have y'all found to be the optimal width of a wing of a rib?
Whatever wins.
I don't know.
Wins exactly.
Whatever wins, you pick. If you
I
can,
mean, I didn't know if it would be if there's a percentage of the length or if it's the
No.
wing area or because I don't know. I just build by the plans, whatever somebody else's design is. So I don't have a clue. The only thing I've built from my design was I built an 049 out of a Leonard Skinner album.
There you go.
Wow.
It's over at I'm at my dad's now, but it's over at the house. I'll bring it next. I'll go get it and show it next.
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's a good picture.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if there's any right answer.
I've been there.
You have one of
Eddie,
these
I've been there.
90?
Eddie,
Yeah,
pick a competitive design and go with it.
yeah.
There you go.
I don't see the 190 there, but that thing,
190.
the last time I saw it, it was hanging where the GOXL is now. And I mean, that was a heavy airplane. But he flew it like he made it look like a 32-ounce airplane.
Hmm.
He had a talent for that. I never did get to pick up his Bearcat, but I'd love to have known what that thing weighed. Because his 47 was light.
I'd like to fly one of those Bearcats. Keith Trossel had a real good flying Bearcat, they claim.
Yeah.
Andy Metzger says we are hilarious.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, whatever.
Here's a good-
You think I'm funny here? Wait till you see me fly.
Nothing to do with what we're talking about, but this is a classic example of somebody who did not get the memo about the paint job.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He always did his own thing. I mean, always.
He's a good dude, man.
He was that. He was a great
Oh
guy.
my goodness. Did not get the memo. That's lovely.
Yeah, that's cute.
In that picture.
With Hazel and Billy. Is that Frank McMillan in the back left?
Billy's in the kneeling in the
Uh-huh. Then Bob Hazel and Frank McMillan, maybe?
No,
Warren T. Hart?
nope.
Looks like oh shoot.
I don't know who that is.
Right on the tip of my tongue.
You're not going to get it.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
That's Glenn Kaler.
I don't know him.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I don't know.
He used to come out. He died, and he used to come out. He used to drive out. And I thought we were going fast. Billy and I were doing about 85 miles an hour out in the plane up between Amarillo and Albuquerque, thinking we were going pretty fast. and he and his wife Dawn went by us like we were standing still.
Oh,
Another.
yeah, they used to
You
go to
gotta
flag
remember in
contests
Albuquerque
together all
area,
over
they
the place.
in Albuquerque area they catch you with an airplane. You don't look for a highway patrol car on the side of the road. It's a darn airplane.
But the speed limit at that time was as fast as it was safe, unlimited.
If they catch you doing 85 in New Mexico, you get a parking ticket.
They used to have a sense of humor.
Yeah. I went somewhere. I think it's California. Seems like it's across the Badlands, California, and it literally is it says speed limit unlimited. No, it's Bonneville Salt Flats.
75 and Utah and places and up north of, I can't remember, Idaho or whatever.
Al Raby.
Easy two sugar.
That's it. That's the one that he crashed right before the Worlds. Engine quit dead overhead.
I flew that airplane.
How'd it fly?
At that contest, matter of fact, I flew that airplane. How'd it fly? It did really good rounds, kind of like a good ringmaster without the wheels on it. You know what I'm saying? You know how good a ringmaster flies without the landing gear?
It's better.
Exactly how that flew.
Better. Yeah, I tell you what,
I made an
improvement.
With corner
I
like
made an improvement. Go ahead.
Like a bowling ball.
It didn't do turn. It didn't do sharp corners.
The next one did. The Snaggletooth did. It was lighter.
I've seen videos of him of the Snaggletooth. Man, that thing's just unbelievable how it flew.
The what airplane?
The Snaggletooth. I've seen videos on YouTube with him flying it.
I think John Hill's built more of those than anybody.
Somebody was flying a Snaggletooth because I remember seeing it, and it was, I mean, it come out of a corner just like you're drawing it.
Well,
it didn't have a corner like the airplanes today do.
No way.
No.
Even close.
No. Not enough wing and well, just altogether different. Still had short horns in it, and it's still.
Yeah, what's that?
I know that rudder. That? I know right where that rudder came from.
Do you know that?
I do. That airplane looked at me when the wing came off in Millington.
Yep, out at our contest.
That was Dr. Jekyll.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That's the Texican guy's name.
Yeah.
Brad, what is it, Brad?
Yeah. Brad Walker. Brad Walker.
Yeah.
He crashed a Nobler of mine. He gave me that airplane.
Brad Walker.
And you got payback.
That was the guy that designed the T-Rex, right?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. He's here in Tulsa still somewhere. He works for Bell Helicopter. No, I think he shoots rifles and does competitions with rifles and stuff. I'm not sure how that works.
All right, so here's a story. You might have heard it.
A man named Brady is.
No. So I was making my first set of wheel pants, and I just glued them together, and I took them over to Jimmy's. I had them silk spanned. I said, look at these wheel pants I made, Jimmy. He said, we got to fix those. He said, we can fix those. Man, you could have just let the air out. I was so proud of them things. I handed them to me. He says, man, you still got all the wood in there? And he says, you can't take a round wheel and stick it in a square hole, because I just took those blocks that you get in the kit, and I just glued them all together and sanded it down round. And anyway, he cut them in half and showed me how to do wheel pants. But man, you could have. He just deflated me so bad.
You had the outside sanded down nice though, didn't you?
Yeah, but man, they had wood and everything, and so he did one of them, and then he handed the other one to me. He said, "Now go home, make that one look like this one." And so he tried to teach me how to.
What's that guy's name? Is Armstrong still around? Is that his name? Something like that.
Zero Armstrong.
Yeah,
Earl.
yeah. Is he still around?
He had some eye problems. He started, I think, going blind in one eye, and it was messing up his depth perception. But he's,
Is he still in BB, you think?
I don't know if he's in BB or he's still in Arkansas. Lou talks to him. I think they talk about once a month or something. He's in a gospel quartet, and I think he's pretty involved in the church.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. He was.
Deal. I bought some stuff from him
One time, and I think I sold him some stuff too. But anyway, he had give up on building a big bear, and I bought I think it was a wing jig. I can't remember what it was. I think I got this one of Bobby's wing jigs, lost foam fixtures. I think I bought that from Zerl, and then he gave me the plans to the early bear, and I talked to. Everybody said you couldn't do it, but I said I'm gonna try it. I called Bear on the phone and talked to him, and he told me what to do to make it just like his. Give me all the moments and sizes and everything. And I don't know why you weren't supposed to be able to call Bob. Heck, he was nice as he could be to me.
He's a fine guy, man. Fine guy.
He was. All those guys were. The only one that I've ever really wanted to call that I've never called, never talked to except at a contest is the man, Billy. I've never called him, but
you won't get a hold of him.
No, that's what I've always heard. But everybody else I've ever called, that I've tried to talk to, I haven't met a bad one yet. I mean,
we was at Dallas one time early in my career, and I was flying and had a PA-65, one of my P-47s, and I flew it and I landed, and we went back up, stood watching the next group flying. Bob's sitting there smoking his pipe, turned to me and says, "Get a PA-75, Joe."
Yeah.
That's all he said. Get a PA-75, Joe.
Yeah. I tried those big blocks. They pulled too hard for me.
Lovely.
No,
Move the lead outs forward. Move the lead outs forward.
My shoulders won't handle it. I tried it. I ended up selling both of them. I had one old one and one new one, and I sold a new one last.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome. You were quite welcome.
It runs really well. Really nice motor.
By the way, Spark.
Is on or is he hiding?
Right.
Do what?
The real Steve Smith. Is he on? There he is. You know the deal. I'm going to turn it over to you. We're going to end the YouTube stream on YouTube. You can stay here. You don't have to go. We can listen to Bob's song.
Well, hang on a minute, Spark. You going to be around tomorrow?
I'm always around here.
Well, I'll give you a call tomorrow. Now I forgot what else I was going to tell you. Anyway, I'll give you a call tomorrow.
I don't do anything. Now I just got to figure out how to get this shut off here.
There we go.
Oh, there we look at there. There's
Lou McFarland.
Lou McFarland stingray and another stingray on the ground, and then two sharks.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and check out my Amazon store. A lot of stuff in there. Cool. And we'll see you next Monday. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.
Who is the nobler?
Geeski.
Geeski.
That's Bob.